I don't know. I think I just know I know we have something good. I know the longer we put into it, the more it's gonna pay out. But if you're ready, I'm ready to go.
Let's do it, man. I've restarted Jack like 4 times already.
I have Mrs. Doubtfire on.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, man. I'm right there with you. I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer, so we have our 2.5 hour mark.
Do you want to do Jack first, or do you want to do Mrs. Doubtfire first?
Let's do Mrs. Doubtfire first. I feel like we tend to stay with the
older one first.
Yeah, the older one first.
Yeah.
There's been a few exceptions. I think it's a good start, though. I have a lot of notes on Mrs. Doubtfire compared to Jack. But music going.
Do you want to get the music going? Let's go ahead.
Yeah. We're at side by side. At side by side.
Side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Side by Side.
Welcome.
This is CJ.
This is Ben. Good to have you here today. I wish I'd quit dropping my pen.
Oh, pen drop in the beginning of the show. Everyone's we gotta. Oh man, I gotta say that. Did you find your pen?
Yeah, I found it. Here it is.
There it is. Hey.
Hey, what do you know?
Yeah. Hey, so we did a just a little recap. We kind of took a little break in between. We had to do a little bit longer break. I did have a problem with not just the logistics, but the actual producing and editing of this of our series, and I fixed it. So I'm very, very proud that Side by Side is going to keep going strong. And thank you. I just want to thank everybody that believed in me, and Ben for texting me and keep me through this. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without Ben, and there is no side without Side by Side. So thank you.
Wait, you're one side. I'm on the other side. I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's what whoa! It makes so much more sense.
On what side are you? The side?
I thought we were comparing the movies. This is us. We're the sides.
We're the sides. Yeah, we
rearrange the letters inside. You get Ben in one and CJ in the other. It's a fact.
There's yin and yang, peanut butter and jelly, and by the way, I got hell.
Peanut butter and ladies.
Oh, yeah. Well, we all know I was raised by women, so I need a break still. I need no ladies. Speaking about ladies, let's let everyone know who we're doing today. We're doing Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, the one and the only.
The one and the only. Yeah,
Do you have your Robin Williams vinyl behind you right now?
You know, I was supposed to get it. Can you keep them occupied for 30 seconds? Let me go get that.
I'll hold the air, unlike that one time that I didn't. Well, hello guys. Today, yeah, Robin Williams. All right. If you could see us right now, CJ is trying to get away. But yeah, we have Mrs. Doubtfire and we have Jack. Those are our 2 Robin Williams movies that we picked. So a little story last week, or 2 weeks ago now, I guess. We were at the end of our Tombstone and Wyatt Earp episode, and a little vinyl fell down. It had Robin Williams' face on it, and here he is, folks.
And I'm back.
He is back. But let me finish that story real quick since you got back. That vinyl with Robin Williams' face fell down right at the end of the episode when we organically choose our next movies. And so we had to go with Robin Williams. And there it is. I mean, that is perfect. Honestly, I wish you could leave that up the entire time, but I don't want your arms to get tired.
Well, wait, dude, because look, it knocks out the background.
Yeah, it does. It's literally Robin Williams. And this is just amazing. It's like I'm talking to a legend. Mr. Williams, how are you doing this evening?
I'm not going to do the impersonation.
It's going to sound like Al Pacino anyway. Just do it.
They're going to be like that. Okay, hi, I'm going to do the way
Family Guy does
it.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, I'm Robin Williams. How's it going? Oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's Tuesday. Oh, hey, we're doing Cinco de Mayo. It's Wednesday, Mayo. It's so hard. How do you do Robin Williams?
Hello, Pilgrim. No.
Oh, the stupid Peter Griffin.
Yeah. But yeah, so it fell, man, and we, like I said, we went with two Robin Williams movies.
It was a sign, man. That was a
It,
sign because
literally,
we
literally a sign.
we right before we even did the episode for Wyatt Earp and Tombstone, we were discussing like, hey, maybe we should kind of. I mean, we do everything organically, but we should have some things ready just in case we think too long, and we'll figure it out. So I took too long. I mean, when you're lazy and a procrastinator, but you're motivated, it kind of works. Um, so when we were talking, and I guess we couldn't think of anywhere to go. The damn thing, and the thing never falls. This thing just it's actually flat. I don't know how it fell off, but it rolled off, and I'm like, and I already knew what it was. And I go, oh, I forgot. He's right behind me, Mr. Robin Williams. Let's talk about him. And we decided, hey, let's do it. And as we were going through it, and even like Ben brought it up earlier today, Hook is available. We had Hook. We could have seen Patch Adams. There's also Centennial Man.
Bicentennial Man.
Bicentennial Man. Yeah. They have that one. And there's like, I mean, Robin Williams does have, he also has, what do you call it?
You have Goodwill Hunting. You have Dead Poet Society on some of his dramatic work. Good Morning Vietnam. I mean, the dude has quite a filmography and quite an assorted array of filmography as well. Not even on the big movies too. There's a movie I watched called House of D where he plays somebody who is like mentally handicapped, and he does a fantastic job.
Man, yeah, I haven't seen that. That sounds good. I mean, yeah, he usually plays like loose characters, crazy. Like, I mean, he like one of his last movies is The Night at the Museum, The Secret Tomb. That's his second last movie, and he played Theodore Roosevelt, and he did a pretty good job as it. I'm not saying pretty good job. He did like a good job. Like,
yeah, and that was his third time reprising that role too. So,
what other two movies? The first one. Are there three Night at the Museums?
Yeah. That was the that was the last one.
Which one is? I thought. Hold on. I thought
there's one at the Smithsonian, and then there's the one at like.
Oh, the regular one. Wait. Oh my God. There is two. There's three. I thought the Smithsonian one was the same one as the. Oh, the Secret Tomb. Isn't that the one with like Rami Malek? Yeah. See, I thought. Oh, dude, I got these movies confused. I'm gonna have to watch all three of these. Sorry there, Ben Stiller. I was not there, not afraid, not aware. But yeah, I mean, we had a lot of these movies we could have picked, and we ended up with Mrs. Doubtfire and Jack. And I gotta say, like, out of all those other topics I just said, like, these were great movies to pick. I mean, not just like one. I didn't even realize how I related to one of them exactly, and then the other one how it relates to me now. And I mean, what's your take on Mrs. Doubtfire? I mean, it's this to me. It's three different ways. I saw this in the theater, and I was like, and I remember seeing the previews to this movie, the trailer, and they showed the boob scene where he catches. I'm getting hot flashes already. One Day as a Woman. I remember watching that in the preview, like, oh, Robin Williams, I gotta watch that. And sure enough, like, when my Aunt Sylvia went to watch it, and it has its funny parts, but I didn't realize how serious this movie was.
Yeah, it was. It was hitting on a lot of topics, man. That were going around. I think in the early '90s, where you had divorce, where you had, even from that first scene where he's like, he takes a stand up, like he's like, this is you're just putting cigarettes in these kids' mouths. Like you get a sense of, Daniel is his name in the movie. You get a sense of Daniel, and just like, he's not gonna take crap from anybody. Like, he believes what he believes. And it doesn't matter if it's a paying job or anything. He feels more. I think it's more like the rules don't apply to him kind of thing.
It's moral. He has a moral there where it's
that the morality too. But like, man, at that first scene, and then just like the beginning of Mrs. Doubtfire, it was just like. Watching it this time around, I empathize more with Sally Fields. As odd as that sounds,
no,
because you see him just like he leaves his job, doesn't contact her, like he doesn't do adult things, or not even normal people, but just how people should handle situations. You know, like if I quit my job, I'd be on the phone with Kenny right away. First off, second off, I know it's like the early '90s, so you don't have cell phones. I mean, Sally Fields does have a cell phone, so he could have reached her at any
Yeah.
time. Um,
I mean, she's a businesswoman. She already has an assistant or someone in the secretary, someone there she can get a hold of. What I gathered right away is he's not aware that it's a parenting is two,
mhm.
and it's like he makes his own decisions that affect because I didn't as you're right, I did not I didn't really appreciate Sally Field. I mean, she gives a great performance, and I didn't appreciate her till really this go around where I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, she's like, and she, you hear it from her, but it's those scenes where she is revealing or opening up to Mrs. Doubtfire, and that's when you start really like, well, she's like, I come to a house and all I do is clean, like
Mhm.
she's like, I want to hang out with you guys, look, I'm the one doing everything, and he gets to, I mean, he really is a good father. Like,
Yeah.
let's get that straight. He is a good dad, and maybe that's the only thing he knows he's good at, and he's or maybe that's the only thing he's good at, and taking care of his children. But it's like trying to show him how do you how do you fit him in this world? How do you put him in this adult world with everyone else? You know, it's like, is he a big kid? Is he, you know, it's, she even tells you she fell out of it because he keeps doing the same thing, and it's like she kind of just wants to see results, and he doesn't really know. I mean, he's very clever. I mean, I'm right
Yeah.
here at the part where she's getting the ad and he changes the number. Like and then what he does all those phone calls. I had to really get the sense of, like, you have to remember it's Robin Williams, and you gotta, it's it's always hard. He doesn't really, he made, it's like he's Robin Williams the actor, but he makes these characters that are like Robin Williams-esque, where you kind of know it's always him. But and with Daniel, he out of all his performances, I want to say this might be kind of closest to Robin Williams as a character and a person, where I feel like that's how he would kind of handle the divorce. Um, it's I like the way they came into it with the movie where she's already had enough. This is the end. We
Yeah.
were seeing the straw that broke the camel's back, and it shows you all his, man. It shows you all his talents. It shows you a lot about. I like the way he calls, "I need a job." He goes, "Hello, I need a job. The position has been filled." Like, you know, like,
He's like going for the kill after
yeah.
that. Like, yeah. Um,
And he's creating a world that we're building. You have to believe in it. Like, it's kind of hard to believe that this man is able to pull this off. But once you believe that and you give into it, um, this guy's willing to go as far as he can to take care of, be with his children.
and you know, this time I in my notes I wrote down that his brother, Harvey Firestein, is
Firestein.
I said he was a enabler. You know, he's making this mask for his brother because he needs to be around his kids. Like he's totally on board. Like there's no question about it. Which I think is good in a brother. You know, like he does help him out, and you can tell there's a lot of love there. But I just, like I said, I just felt like, it was like, I wonder if there's ever a conversation like, do you want to be doing this? Like, I mean, this may be a little too far,
That's
kind of
that's
thing.
that's where yeah, you're right. That's where you got to get rid of that mindset.
Yeah.
This is more of a, we see that, we know that you're a genuine person, because there's a part where when he's at the water park and they, excuse me, he's at the water park, they and he walks by himself and he goes, yeah, I'm watching you walk away with my family, like, you know, he's like, and he goes, this is way beyond obsessed, like he's aware of it.
Yeah.
So for him to be, maybe he just, I don't know, he just went with it, like he's desperate. I'm just looking at it as desperate. He's desperate.
He literally doesn't have anything to lose. I mean,
I mean, I do like how they show the court system though. How, like, man, like it's fucked up. I mean, the court. I don't know, man. I'm a child of divorce, and having to actually pick who you're gonna be with is a lot of bullshit, man. Like, you shouldn't. I don't know, getting the children involved. I mean, they actually split my brother and I, which I'm finding out nowadays, as an adult, you should never have done. You know, they split us, so that's why my brother and I have the relationship we do. And I think a lot of the, like, them fighting, like, kind of, I got emotional. I did tear eyed at that. I was like, oh crap, because when I was younger, I didn't see any of that. You know, kind of, you're going through it, so you kind of you can kind of relate, but you don't really pay attention to that. You look at the funny stuff, and now I'm like, oh man, the fighting, and then you know, the kids being there. Like, ultimately, this is about the children. And, you know, like, the judge is kind of looking at him like, and then they even tells him, like, you're an actor, and that just means that you can like lie. It's basically what he's calling him. I'm like, you don't, you know, and it was all in the mother. And then when she goes visits him, she sees what he's been able to do, and he's just like, well, I'm successful, but look, I'm fucking miserable, and I'm my children. You know, it's like you
Yeah.
took them from me, and it's a crazy ass. This movie's just really it's a weird concept to believe in, but once you do, and you see what he really goes through, and I mean Pierce Bronson, come on, how the hell are you gonna beat out that son of a bitch, especially in the, like nineties Pierce Bronson, like you know,
It's
it's like
James Bond, bro.
James Bond. He was Remington Steele before that, you know. It's like
Yeah.
it's like that's a challenge, dude. And then he's after her, so it's not like he's just trying to like and I picked up a lot of that, Mrs. Doubtfire. Like it's Robin Williams. I mean, it's Daniel's protecting. He's being jealous. We start saying all those bad things, and especially when they're at the restaurant. I never picked up at the restaurant that he gets drunk. Like when I was younger, I never picked it up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's at a producer meeting. This is what they do. He just needs an excuse to just, can I hang out with you? Can I drink with you? All right, cool." And he finds out he can, and then he messes up by showing up as Mrs. Doubtfire, and he saves his ass by, well, he telling the drunk producer that he's gonna play it as a woman, and he bets him. And I don't think there's ever like a trans thing in it either. Like there's nothing wrong. They're not making fun of it. It's just
Mm-mm.
it's a fun little joyride. Now I'm at the part here where his brother, oh god, he does all those impersonations. Oh, well, I was at the Puerto Rican. Let me tell you, last night I was like all the
I
Kirk.
feel like this will scare the children. Is this a
But
little much?
but I think the way they come, how they create her, Mrs. Doubtfire, and I do like the fact that the brother is willing to just not even put a blind eye. I guess never acknowledges it. Just like, I mean, he really makes him another mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally,
He's like, be careful with her. She's an old woman. And I mean, since he had a plaster of him and everything, I'm sure it wasn't, too terribly difficult. Well, as difficult for at least Robin Williams. But another cool thing too is like, you said you watched the trailer of this, so you've obviously seen Mrs. Doubtfire's face in the trailer, right? But still, in the movie, they don't show her face right away. It's like, how does it look? Oh, it looks great, and then you just see her dance, or see him dancing, and then the next time that you
oh,
see
the
Mrs.
open the
Doubtfire,
reveal. Yeah.
that's the reveal, and yeah, that's just good directing, honestly, in my opinion. Like,
Sorry, he's doing the Barbara Streisand, or who's the singing
yeah,
who's the is it
don't
Barbara,
rain on my parade.
is it
Yeah,
Barbara
yeah,
Streisand? Yeah,
it's
he
fine.
does it so perfect, dude. But oh, you're right about, sorry man, I just looked up and he does it, it's like a long thing. I'll say with the Harvey Firestein, I liked his he goes Aunt Jack, Uncle Frank and Aunt Jack.
Yeah.
Like that's actually, I wish there would have been just a little crossover there with the kids and the gay uncle. That
Mhm.
would have been kind of cool to kind of see. Maybe the '90s was a little too, maybe, but this a first start or something. But I thought that was cool because I think like Philadelphia came out around this time too, with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. I think that was a big thing for like the gay community, and I thought that would have been kind of cool. Like you would have done it if my timeline's right. I don't know if it's right or
Yeah.
not.
Well, I mean, and they just kind of gloss over it. They don't make a big deal about it. That's what's going on. There's divorced people out there, and they have gay couples as well. I mean, it's a I wouldn't say it's a movie before before its time, but I feel like it was like I don't know, man. It was fun, and nobody was like looking at like, oh, there's a gay couple. I'm sure there were some assholes that were doing that, like, oh, there's a gay couple in this movie. But no, everybody from my personal experience, there's not a person I know that doesn't love Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I just, dude, it's a solid movie. From start to finish. Like you said, it gives you that a little snippet, like a little peek into the life. You see, you don't really need to see a whole lot. You understand like through the dialogue, like, okay, yeah, this is where she's had enough, and all this other stuff. I mean, he literally brings a zoo to the
Yeah.
house, and
Dude, I was happy when I saw it when I was a kid. I was like, hell yeah. Now the adult, I was like, oh fuck.
yeah, dude, especially in San Francisco, man, like
Oh, San Francisco movie.
it's a lot. Um, it was watching this as a kid, it was just a fun movie, man. You got to see Robin Williams like acting goofy, and that's really what you were looking at. You didn't really see anything else. At least whenever I saw it, I was fairly young because it came out in what, 93. So
93.
I
Yeah.
was I was 3 years old when it came out. I probably didn't see it till I was like 5 or 6. But yeah, man, it's a really good movie. Like I said, that first part where Miranda's really talking about, I'm always cleaning up, I'm always doing this, and I want a divorce, I'm done. And I was just like, damn, man, like the older I get, the more I can kind of understand where she's coming from, like, yeah, you can't just have fun all the time. You have to work. Like, she's the main breadwinner. I mean, if he can just
Yeah.
quit his job without worry, I mean, she's the one providing everything. At that point, you kind of wonder why, like, he wasn't a stay-at-home husband. That could have been a good thing. He would have had to.
90s, dude. Maybe, I don't know, San Francisco, maybe before it was expensive. And maybe, I mean, is the whole, I gotta say, the performance is just, they're very believable. And you really feel like Sally Field is like, man, she brings a solid performance. She brings a really good where she is the hardworking woman without having to like talk about it, but do about it. She has vulnerability. She's asking Mrs. Doubtfire for advice, things about her children, and she's a career, kind of like my mom, career woman that really prefers to, provide, I guess, or be at work. And it seems like it works perfect for Robin Williams. I mean, for Daniel for being home.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, sorry. On Sally Field's performance, I have to say that probably my favorite scene of hers is at the very end at the dinner.
Daniel,
Like whenever she, yeah, and then she was like, "The whole time you were
the whole time.
and then she just like slammed the whole time. Like she just, dude, she gets into it, and like you just see that she does a great job of just running through those emotions, man. Like she's just so pissed, and then she's like, "I gotta go, I gotta leave, like I gotta get away from this." Like it's just so surreal that she can't believe it. Like literally another person came out of your maid. Like what
Was your husband?
it's,
Your ex-husband.
it's your ex-husband, yeah, and that's the other person, and this is who's been Mrs. Doubtfire this whole time. Like yeah, and just her processing that just in those few moments is she did a great job at acting that scene out. Like for real. I am for sure I have that written down in my notes because yeah, it gets me every time, man. Just you realize how pissed she is. But yeah, man, like even when he's divorced, I mean, obviously the love is still there, at least on his end. I don't think that she's necessarily happy about getting divorced. It's just she's doing it for her, like it's one of those things where she's not happy and everybody else around her's happy, and she just has to be this jerk all the time, and she's just tired of that. And she knows what the problem is, and she just finally deals with it, and you get this crazy movie directed by Christopher Columbus. That's
what I was trying to go with. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that I didn't do the intro usually with the movie. We just started talking and it's going kind of like just smooth. That's the way we do it. So remember, we're doing Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, PG-13, 2 hours and 5 minutes, comedy drama family. Was released November 24th, 1993. After a bitter divorce, an actor disguises himself as a female housekeeper to spend time with his children held in custody by his former wife. Dude, written by Christopher Columbus, the guy that found how to write movies. It's like,
yeah. He also directed Harry Potter, like the first two, I think, something like that. Christopher Columbus is actually he's also done Home Alone. He has quite a filmography, especially for not necessarily kids movies, but kids or movies that are geared more towards kids, or at least about kids. But what's crazy about his movies, dude, is they just become iconic. You know, like he just can't even. There's no way they're doing a Gremlins 3.
That's what it says. It says here Gremlins 3.
Oh my god, I would love that so much.
That would
He's
be
a producer on that. Let's see, director, 22 credits. It's pretty great.
What they got for Gremlins 3 though?
Five Nights at Freddy's. I know that's a game that a lot of people like. Oh, he directed Christmas Chronicle Part 2. Did he direct the first one?
No, that was a. We did that movie.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, okay, crazy.
I think we touched on it, but what was I gonna say? I mean, Sorry, I'm kind of I'm still kind
No,
of all
it's
over the
fine.
place with this. No, the movie with Mrs. Doubtfire. It's man, it's because I was listening to another podcast a while back. I want to say it was like Opie and Anthony, but they're usually they talk a bunch of shit smack,
Mhm.
but they're making fun of the movie, and I think it was them. Don't quote me, but they're something like some kind of podcast like that, and then they're talking about, yeah, like people aren't gonna believe it, but when I'm watching this movie and the shots they use are really good, but just the actual shots of Mrs. Doubtfire as she's in her environment, like it's believable. Would you think that that was like, I mean, the one scene I didn't, I mean, there's a lot of scenes I didn't get as a kid. The drive-by fruiting, like I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why Mrs. Doubtfire did that, but then I heard the conversation again that he has, and he his what's Pierce Brosnan's character's name? Not Niles, is it?
Stew
It's
sounds more like a chunky soup to me,
Stew.
Gary.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Stew. Yeah, Stew with like a chucky soup. But
Yeah, man.
he doesn't have like a bad thing. But he also says like, Natalie, I can't get enough of her. I love that little girl, something like that. But he's talking about the youngest daughter, and it's like, and he's right there. Daniel's right there listening to him. So it's like, dude, you're taking his his family, and not really taking it. He's just he's having.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right there, and I didn't understand why he threw it. Then I found out, yeah, he's just super jealous. Like he's just really like he gets mad because there's a lot of Mrs. Doubtfire has a lot of lip talks a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
And I love her interactions with Stu too, because he just like takes it. He's just like, okay. Like he is very uncomfortable.
yeah, that's true. I mean, they talks about the whole like and all that slang. There's a part here where you start seeing That's what I was gonna say about the drinking. I was trying to remember what I was gonna say. The Daniel, as he starts drinking, you start seeing the crossover where Daniel's Doubtfire, and Doubtfire doesn't become Daniel, but it's like the inner the actor that's portraying the character, he's starting to seep through, and the alcohol has that. And there's certain scenes where you see Daniel come out, and you see Mrs. Doubtfire. He plays Mrs. Doubtfire as Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, Mrs. Doubtfire even creates a husband, an ex-husband,
Mhm.
and Wit is his name, or
No, it's
is it Wyatt, or he's
Jesus.
whatever the made up husband is that
She's Euphigenia, and
that was
it's something. It's
Wyatt
something.
or Wait, or I think it's what I thought it was a W, Walt
Man,
or
let's
something
see.
like that. See if you can find it. But
Yeah,
I like
quite
the
surely.
I like the fact that it's like it's another created character that we believe, that they make people to believe in the movie. Um, like when Mr. Doubtfire passed, when did you never, dear, I never moved on. Once you fall in love, like he's like, stay celibate. I mean, that's that part where it's at the end of the movie. Um, I mean, you do feel for Daniel when he's like, I get to see my kids on Saturdays with supervision. Like if I'm some kind of, you know, like monster kind of guy. Let's see,
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading through.
finding anything there, buddy?
I'm on that. Okay, so that quote that celibacy, lifelong celibacy. Yeah, let's see. Winston.
Winston, yeah.
Yeah. It's not in here, but I just remembered what it was.
He creates, yeah, it's a W. I remember it was a W. But it's very because
Yeah.
Daniel creates Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire creates Winston. So Winston's like another character in the movie.
It's
I
like,
mean,
the drink killed him. Oh, he was an alcoholic. No. No, he was pretty fond of the drink, but he got hit by a Guinness bug.
the actual drink that he drank.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's a part. I mean, right here with Miss. Who's the lady that comes to the
Miss Selner?
Selner? Yes. So there is a part where Mrs. Doubtfire and Daniel kind of cross over right there. I think that's, other than the ending, it's like the closest part.
Yeah, that's really the only part that's just like, I don't know if anybody would believe that, like, to not see either one of them, like, they look very similar. And then you even have Miranda saying that Mrs. Selner spoke to her about
right.
him
Her
having a sister. And so, and it's funny because, like, at that point, he thinks he's found out, and she's like, Mrs. Doubtfire, and she just like says in that voice, like, do you ever, and she just asks this question, like this just random ass question. And so that was like a moment of like, oh no, is she about to expose him for what he is, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this movie it's solid. It's great. It makes you laugh. It has Aerosmith. Um,
It makes you laugh. It has it's. I mean, I did tear up when I watched this movie, but I was watching it at 4 in the morning because I couldn't sleep and just like being like, man, this is like
there
it
were
has.
tears because you couldn't go to sleep.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep, man. Oh, I saw like the two little the Asian kids like laughing at him. Like that's even funny, like your neighbor kids.
And then
Like
they're like, "Mom,"
yeah, like what's wrong with that? A guy wearing like that's where I don't know. It's San Francisco, so I thought it'd be okay with that. I did, however, when she shows up to the Mrs. Sellner shows up to the house. When I was younger, I was always like, "Isn't it too late to be showing up to the house?" And
yeah,
then
that's yeah. I was thinking that this time
oh,
too.
hold on, I forgot. Okay, but I thought. I mean, sorry. Now being an adult, I what do you call it? And I've been to San Francisco. It does, depending on daylight savings, it's like 4 o'clock. It'll be that dark. So
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
the West Coast gets
Jesus.
dark crazy. Um, Also, I just realized I caught this time around when Daniel's wearing the wig with no mask on, and he's coming down the hall, and you see Mrs. Sellner there. Is there an homage to Psycho?
Well, he did say he was looked like Norman Bates,
That's what I'm
so
saying.
it very well may have been.
Because they show
So
the legs creeping, and so
yeah, and so he was going to the bathroom, and then he just like ran into the kitchen. Like, what was his plan in the bathroom?
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
he's just trying to get outside. Oh, he was trying to go outside. That's why he ran in the kitchen because she turns when he touches the lock to open it, and
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Sellner starts turning around. Well, he just runs into the because I think he was gonna run outside and then get the mask, put it on, and then make up some bullshit on the way
You
up.
think he would run all the way down?
Oh
I don't
yeah, dude,
know.
this guy done.
Dude, I thought that was like his bathroom or something.
No, he was going outside. He was in the bathroom, or
Oh.
no, he's going
No,
outside.
he was in his bedroom. Or what did you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah, no, yeah,
bathroom?
yeah, no, but I mean, like that was the outside. He was gonna go outside to get it. I think he was gonna. I think he was gonna go get the
Oh.
mask. But even at that, with the
But if you're leaving, so at that point she would be asking for somebody who wasn't there, and then you get figured out.
but this is that's a
We're
plot
finding
hole.
plot holes, people.
But no, but I
On
no, I'm
Mrs.
saying
Doubtfire.
no. That's the plot hole you would have found. But they fixed that by having him or shake the lock, and then she turns, so he has to run into the kitchen, and then he gets his wig stuck, so he has to turn around and get it, and then he opens the fridge and it
Thank
sticks
God
his.
he saw that. Jeez.
Where's the cake at? I mean, you could yeah. Out of all the
I'm
bullshit,
melting, dear.
it was a drive-by fruiting. I mean, but even like this, I think you can play it off with that.
No, my favorite part is whenever Miss Selner is like she has the mousetrap go off on her. He's like, "Oh, if you wanted a piece of cheese, just ask." Like,
Oh, yeah. What is it? That's your favorite part of? I don't know if I have a favorite part of the movie.
it wasn't even a favorite part. That was just one part that I really enjoyed
Did-
that
do you-
I wrote down.
Do you have a favorite part of this movie? Is there any part that really? I honestly
I really like the last scene in the restaurant. That's probably the one that stuck out the most to me as a kid, just because there was a lot going on. You have the back and forth, um, the montage too. I really enjoy that Aerosmith break where you have them doing that. Those would probably be the two parts of the movie that not even my favorite, but the most memorable uh, out of it. I would always forget that. I don't know whether it was just me not wanting to remember not bad parts, but like the very beginning where they're fighting and all that other stuff. It's almost like I blocked that out as a kid, and he's just like he's already on his own and all this other stuff because I tend to forget that part that it's in there.
Yeah. Man, I love just the shots of San Francisco. Like I said, I love watching movies that are being made there. Seattle's real pretty too when you see some kind of Seattle movies. But I think like the kids, the portrayal of the children are really nice. Even they do catch Mrs. Doubtfire peeing standing up,
Mm-hmm.
and then it has everything like.
Yeah.
Like, man, you catch your dad doing that. I mean, the performances are pretty. You get the three you get the little innocent child, you get the little kind of sporty kind of talk back kid, and you get the quiet daughter that's kind of the oldest, kind of seeing what's going on and how it's affecting her. They ultimately show how this is going to affect children.
Yeah.
And man, I love that they did kind of go that kind of dark.
Well, even his oldest daughter, I mean, whenever they're having dinner, she's at the first time she's like, "You need to get it together, Dad." Like she's having to put on those shoes, and it's just even more, kind of heartbreaking. It's like, oh man, like she sees what's going on. She knows exactly what's going on, and uh, you would say she's probably about 14 because he was turning 12.
Yeah.
That was his 12th birthday and everything. Um, which he looks older than 12. If we're gonna be real, but he was
Lawrence is
13.
this?
It's
Matthew Lawrence. This is
yeah,
Matthew Lawrence.
and I think he was like 13 at the time, so he was right around that age. Um, but yeah, man, and then you have Mara Wilson. She's supposed to be playing 5, but Miranda mentioned that it was like, I've been dealing with this for 14 years. So it seems like, once they had kids and Daniel had to actually start taking responsibilities, not just being the fun dad, that's when the problems really started. At least, like I said, I was just thinking to myself, like, oh, 14 years. Oh, the daughter's probably about 14. That's when she probably started feeling stressed, and that's when she couldn't be, the nice person all the
Yeah.
time kind of thing.
Well, I think I mean, she was driven. She's a career driven, and I think that's what she liked about Daniel because he was different. He wasn't like everybody else, and that's what she says. And then it just you have to evolve, or I don't know. It seemed like they had a good thing going. Maybe she just got tired of him.
Do you think they've been married for 14 years, or it was like a shotgun marriage where like she got pregnant and they had to get married kind of thing?
Well, no. Well, if they got shotgun marriage, I think it'd be 14. But maybe they had been like 20 years. Oh no, he says it. I think it was 15 years or something like. I think he says it. There's a point there. He gets. I can't come into my house. I've been. Or I think. I don't
Because
know if there's
she said 14 years.
Yeah, so let's say it's around 14. My parents were together for 15, which I still think is a lot, but in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of my life, it's already like, I've lived 20 years beyond that moment. So
Yeah.
it gets to be like, okay, I get it. Um, the I try not to like I try to figure out like I'm not trying to be emo too much, but just the way I was raised. So I'm just being honest, and just the way you see that and how I can relate to it. I think other people could kind of see. Like what I was trying to say is, it looks like it's a future movie for people that are going through a divorce or thinking about going. I think this would be a great movie just to kind of watch because it really does make you appreciate if you are the breadwinner and that can't spend time with the family, or vice versa. You're the one that's spending time with the family, but you're not, whatever, you're not doing the other part. But I think that like it shows that like what it can do or how hard it is on a family or just on general on individuals, on I guess children. I mean, I'm a big person on where what I heard growing up was stay together for the kids. I'm like, well, you shouldn't do that if you're both, because you're both not happy and you're miserable. You're gonna just put that down on your children. So
Yeah.
I'd say like try to way just to co-parent is what they're calling it nowadays, co-parenting.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. See, I would feel like a lot of people that say like, oh, being good co-parents or made that a priority, they probably see Mrs. Doubtfire. And if you heard that last little bit, of the movie where she's talking to the audience and she's like, it doesn't really matter where you are, you have people that love you and all this other stuff. I feel like that really probably resonated with a lot of people whenever they were younger. And you know, you're a child of divorce. I am too. I didn't have it. I was like 2 years old when my parents divorced. Um, you know, but I feel like a lot of kids went through through that. A lot of people I know, their parents are divorced. Probably a handful of people I know have their parents that are still married or stayed married through a good chunk of their lives. Um, but yeah, man, I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they, like you said, they're in it for the kids, and that's what he was about the entire time. I mean, like I said, that was his main reason for going back to that house, was to visit his kids. It wasn't like he was like, oh, I need to get back in that house so I can find my money or anything. There's no ulterior motives besides the kids.
But he is no, but he is trying to get back with I was like Miranda. Yeah, he's trying to get back with
I
Miranda.
don't. I think that is. I mean, yeah,
He's
I get what you're saying there, but I think he thinks that that is going to happen. I mean, even when it goes to Harvey Firestein's house, like, oh, I know Miranda, we're going to be fine, and then she actually files for divorce. I mean, I think in his mind, yes, he is going to win her back, but
I think that's
she's
motivation, dude. I think the kids is a guarantee. Like that the children, that's his thing. But I think he's also trying to get Miranda back because it seems like because even when she notices like, oh, you hired someone to clean, like, no, I did it, and she starts seeing it, and he's like, look, I've changed, and he's even come on, like he wants her back. But I
well,
think she
even then he says, "Come on, let me see the kids more." It's not even let me
so you
do
think
that.
he's already so because time has passed or
I don't think that he's given up hope. No, but do I think that that is the reason why he is doing this? No. I don't think Mrs. Doubtfire is going to help him get Miranda any way, shape, or form. Even if you do have Mrs. Doubtfire in there, saying that Stu's this bad guy and all this other stuff. I mean, she can clearly figure that on her own. I mean, she takes her advice. Well, she gets her advice, but she doesn't take it. So she just wants somebody to talk to. And
yeah.
even if she isn't saying what she wants to hear, she just wants she wants to say it out loud kind of thing. Um, so I get what you're saying. I totally do. But I think there's no motivation to get back with her by doing Mrs. Doubtfire.
No, I think no, and there's that point where at that point right there, I think I just contradicted myself because Mrs. Doubtfire is the wedge that gets in his way.
Yeah.
And then because he made Mrs. Doubtfire so well that she's overshadowing him, and so now he's like, now I got to make her disappear. But exactly, he went older, so he can make her like,
Yeah, that's true.
well, wait.
That's true.
But I mean, I get.
Then you have to have a funeral and.
I mean, you
everything
just
like-
back then you just write a letter. It's like, you don't have to. How are you gonna confirm it? You know, like
Oh, but that would look terrible on the references, man.
what? No, just put that. No, because then Daniel would have to go and make another persona, kind of like a Winston persona, and be like, "This is
You have to have her kids around because she's had kids.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you no, you just write a letter. You just write a letter saying that this is Jacob Doubtfire. I'm Mrs. Doubtfire's son, and unfortunately she passed away, and that she wanted me to let you know if anything ever happened to her. And you just write a letter. Back then, that was it. That's all it took.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Like yeah.
To get rid of Mrs. Doubtfire is that simple. Like that, I just made that up hypothetically, but
Yeah.
you could easily. It'd be so easy to get rid of her.
Hmm.
What do you think? How would you get rid of Mrs. Doubtfire? If you were Daniel and you had to get rid of her, how would you do it?
I doubt it'd be a fire. Ha ha ha. That was some good snake jazz.
I'm here with the dude looks like, and he's playing soccer. She's playing soccer. And he's kicking it all like.
How would I kill Mrs. Doubtfire?
How would you get rid of her?
How
Not
would
necessarily
I-
kill her. How would you get rid of her?
She's dead. All right.
She's dead.
DED dead. I mean, yours is a valid point. But me in my head, I mean, I obviously went to I gotta hire kids I gotta hire people.
Yeah, you went that far.
Well, I mean, and he has to have actor friends. I mean, he's in that business. Plus, this is another thing I was going to mention, that I think Harvey Firestein gets him roles or helps him into the movie business.
Did you know there's a part that Mrs. Doubtfire says it, and that's why there's a callback to it where Mrs. Doubtfire says, and then our special guest Frank is going to talk to us about special effects makeup, and that's his brother.
I totally did not catch that.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool on the way out because it shows the old dude is now the mailman.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
I liked how they brought that back.
they brought
too.
him back too. Like they didn't.
It wasn't like they just got rid of him completely. They just repurposed him.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's the word I was trying to figure out. What did they do with him? They repurposed him. He still has value. He's just not a lead anymore. Let's put him on.
Mr. Sprinkles. Oh, he's just so happy too. Hey, Mrs.
Hey, I say not fire.
Like he was trying to. I got a letter for you today.
Put
it in your mailbox.
Ooh, flag up. It
It was like that bus driver dude. The bus driver
He shows
said,
the legs.
Kevin, I hope you
European.
have something nice to go warm to hold you at night, ma'am. Like,
I did pick up on that. Even like an older, it's like, man, I'm a guy. You're a guy. Like being a woman, it's got to be tough. Like getting on the bus like that. Like I didn't like getting hit on.
he even covered up his chest, man. He was like fully clothed. He was like 1800s dressed, and he still was like feeling uncomfortable. And I think like you said, I mean, we're both guys. Like we don't have to worry about that. Like we don't have people trying to hit on us everywhere we go. Well, at least I don't. I don't know about you.
Well, I mean,
Um,
depending what gay bar I was hanging out at. I mean, I am wearing my OCH shirt. You have to earn that one. Not my, that's a. I mean, you hang out at places, dude. I have been hit on. By I mean, it just happens. You hang out with gay people once in a while. Some people think you're gay. They kind of put a move on you, and you're like, hey, good try, but I'm not. And then they keep going, like, hey, I told you, so I'm not. It's like.
said good try.
I say, yeah, good try, buddy. Take a lap. It's like, that's
Go
what
work
that's
it
what,
off.
Yeah, go
Uh,
walk it off. Yeah, yeah. I can hook you up with my buddies, but yeah, sorry, I don't fly. I think just I also like the part where the guy tries to rob Mrs. Doubtfire, and he's like, "Get away, punk!" Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't have that
Back
issue.
off.
Yeah, I don't have that. I
Yeah.
don't have that issue. It's like it's gotta be tough, and it's showing. I think it shows it a little bit, like from transitioning from the man part to the woman. What's up?
Yeah, I love well in that part too where he's just like, oh, he broke my bag, that bastard. Like he goes right back into Mrs. Doubtfire, like without even thinking about it, man.
That's right, because he gets
And-
pissed. He
yeah.
just sticks at it.
He does that.
Oh yeah, you bastard.
Yeah. And then whenever he's walking out of the men's restroom, he's like, excuse me. I'm pretty sure that is Christopher Columbus whenever like he's walking out of the restroom at the train station. And it's that guy, I think. Let me check.
Do you know what, dude? I think you've kind of tripped out before how I can remember like people's faces recognition pretty well. I did recognize like an actor who is he's just a small little cameo. He comes out in one snippet, and I was like, oh my god, that's that dude from like Cold Case or what show is he from? His name is he's a Paul Guilfoyle. Guilfoyle. He's man. It says here he's been in a lot of movies. I think he's also been part of CSI. He's part of CSI. He's a big. Let's see if you go to CSI Crime. I don't know. He's a character, Captain.
Oh man,
Jane-
I didn't even notice he was in there.
Don't, but he's in it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, just like for a second.
he's,
I mean, they even have Martin Mull in here.
Martin, I saw that name. What is he from?
Yeah, he was in 2.5 Men. If you ever watch, he's been in a lot of stuff, dude. He was in Clue, Jingle All the Way.
Yes, there we go. No, I remember him. Yes, he has a lot of characters. He's a good character actor. Yeah, he was in Clue. He's a good character actor.
But yeah, he was Sally Field's boss. He was just in it for just a second. Let's see here. Wait, Robert.
This part of the
So,
show, we always
Mi-
like to kind of go through the casting and throw out some shout outs.
Yeah, Mr. Lundy, was he in? No, I'm thinking of somebody else. I thought he was in Big for a second. Let's see here. Mara Wilson, no, Matthew Lawrence. Yeah, dude. Wow, Harvey Firestein's up there on the
They're number 4.
let's see. So Chris Columbus. Let's see if he was an actor in.
And then Mr. Lundy, he was in another movies.
No, he isn't. He's not in the. Well, he's under his actor credits. He's in Rent and Home Alone 2.
Maybe uncredited.
Yeah.
I forget. Mr. Lundy's also in Christine. He gets eaten by the car.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He passed away in 2008 at 77.
Uh,
R.I.P. Sir Robert Prosky.
oh, Christopher Columbus also directed Bicentennial Man.
Mm.
So if
I
we
mean,
had chosen that, that would have been a really cool side by side.
You know what? I don't remember Bicentennial Man. I remember because so this one, as I watched it as an adult, Mrs. Doubtfire is a comedy, and I laughed more. But it's dark. I don't know if it's dark. I mean, it's dark for me.
It's
I mean, it's not even dark for me. It's
serious. It
Yes,
has
it's
serious
serious.
matter, serious subject matter that has comedy dispensed in it, or even not even so much comedy, just like scenarios that can be comedic, like him trying to get out and get out of situations. And Robin Williams, I mean, just the way he acts and kind of flails about, I mean, you're gonna have a good time watching him. It's just one of those things, man. Like,
And so this one is, like I said, this is more to me. I remember, haha, more that Bicentennial Man. I don't remember it being funny. I remember watching it and being like, this isn't funny. And then watching Jack.
there's one funny part. It's whenever he's telling jokes. He's like, "What silence smells like worms?
Oh, what?
Bird farts." And then he just keeps telling joke after joke, and he's
Well, I mean, I don't remember it, so I
Sorry.
need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I got to
Well,
rewatch it.
Sam Neill's in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
God, there's quite a few people, and it's also, I think, Sarah Paulson's in that movie too. But it's like you follow this family through Robin Williams. I think, what's her name from Bedazzled's in it too.
Elizabeth Hurley or
No. Elliot's love interest.
I forget her name.
Yeah, no. Let's see.
Final Cut. That's another movie that he did. Insomnia, where he's like in depth to Smoochie. Yeah, I forget. Yeah. 1 hour photo.
But I mean, listening to his stand up, I mean, he kind of feels like he would be a not serious, but like a dark comedy actor. Like that almost.
Well, I mean, they say there's a lot of like comedians that always get mad at Robin Williams because they said he stole material. I believe he's one of those that they said that he was a joke stealer, but he would even take. Yeah, I think there are a lot of like.
Oh, dude, Oliver Platt's in it in Bicentennial Man.
Yeah.
What
year was that? Like 90 what?
It was 2000.
2000.
I think it was right at the New Year. No, 99.
99. Class of 99.
Uh-oh, it's in your class of movies, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Bradley Whitford is in this movie.
My man.
Stephen Root. I mean, dude, this is like Get Out, prequel to Get Out right here.
Get out.
Let's see here. This would probably be easier if I just went to Bedazzled. But yeah, dude, this is Bicentennial Man. I remember being a very interesting movie to watch as a kid, just because, like I said, it goes over different times, so you really have to pay attention.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch this thing. It was more of a thinker, I'm assuming. Yeah. An android endeavors to become human as he gradually acquires emotions, which also found out. I was watching this thing about Futurama, and they're talking about that Bender is probably the most relatable human being on the show, and he's a robot. He drinks, he has his emotions, he's always just being himself.
I figured it out.
What's up?
We're doing good on time. I think we're right at an hour. Oh, we're at 52 minutes.
Let's talk about the right. Do you want to talk about
so what I was going to say was Frances O'Connor is the actress's name from Bedazzled, and she's an AI. That's what it is. And Robin Williams is also an AI. He was Dr. No. He was just a voice. But yeah, fun fact. I lost my pen again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Dang pen. Who's let's see. I was gonna say I was on Bicentennial, but let me go back to Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, on Robin Williams' IMDb page, it is the Mrs. Doubtfire I guess trailers is the image that it has next to his photo. But let's see. Yeah, Anne Fine, Randy Meyer Singer, and that's a screenplay. So let's see who. Yeah.
Wait, are you looking at Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah, Leslie Dixon. This movie was written by females.
This movie was a book. Alias Madame Doubtfire by Anne Fine. And Anne Fine.
Alias Mrs. Doubtfire.
England. She is a writer known for Mrs. Doubtfire. Google has. Let's see here if she has any trivia. She's written some 140 books. Wow.
Damn, we gotta step it up.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was based off of a book.
But that Alias Madame Doubtfire, and this is a British book. Well, Alias means other alter ego, right, or something like that, also known as. So, yeah, I guess this is maybe I mean, it's a. I think for. Do you think this is more? This is more like the comedic slapstick comedy. You have to watch the scenes, right, to really get the jokes of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I feel like a lot of the comedy is also going to come from um, Robin Williams. Just like how his comedic timing, all his jokes. I feel like a lot of his stuff has been improved. At least in this. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Yeah, I was just looking up Madame Doubtfire on here. It was published in 1987, so 6 years before the movie came out. Synopsis is separated Miranda's successful businesswoman, severe limited amount of time. Daniel, out of worked actor, and allowed to spend with her Lydia, Christopher, and Natalie. Decides to hire a nanny, however, skins himself as a woman. No. Okay, so Lydia and Christopher immediately know who Madame Doubtfire is, but Natalie and Miranda are fooled. Daniel uses his disguise to spend time with his children. Miranda comments that the house has never been run better. After Miranda discovers Daniel's secret, and after one more terrible fight, both parents admit mistakes and make arrangements for Daniel to see his children more often. So, essentially,
It's the same thing.
yeah.
You know what, man? We didn't even look at the budget. This is insane. This is freaking insane. $25 million was the budget.
I bet you made like 400 million.
Yeah. You're getting good at this, Mr. Ben. 441 million. God damn.
Yep.
And this is why I love listening to this. I mean, I'm not a money-driven guy, but I understand that I respect money. But come on, that is a damn gross for basically. I mean, I think this thing won makeup too. Let's see, it won awards, didn't it? This film
Let's
was.
see. It has a stage adaptation. Yeah, let's see here. Accolades, best makeup. Yeah, it won an Academy Award.
Dude, that's insane. So this is actually I mean,
An award-winning movie.
and Globe and Gold Award. Michael, musical and comedy. Robin Williams awarded Globe and Gold Award Best Actor in Motion Picture. Wow. Oh, okay. No, sorry. It says Globe and Gold Award for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Robin Williams was awarded the Golden Globe for Best Actor. He won a Golden Globe for this?
Wow.
Holy
It's not
crap.
surprising.
Dude, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And I honestly, I got to give Sally Field her credit where it's due. Like, she bounced off real good on his performance. Like, she really, because like the first time, I just feel like, oh, she's just mom. But now when I watch it, I'm always like, oh, dude, no, she's a hard worker, dude. She's like, it's hard to be the mom, you know?
And everything else. I mean, she was being mom and dad, and he was just being a friend. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has that feel like he was just their friend. And even his oldest kid was like, you got to step it up. I mean, if your kids are telling you that you aren't doing a good job, uh, you know, especially at that age when it's serious and they, their whole world got upended too, like you got to take a little bit into account there, like.
I mean, I think it's I get it where the daughter is saying that so they don't have to go through that. Like, if
Yeah.
you just step it up a little bit more, we wouldn't have to do this.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And she's clearly mad at her mom, but she's not saying that. In those scenes you get that she's like, I understand, mom, I'm still pissed at you for doing this to us, but like you get that feeling that she knows, like she understands.
it's just crazy to me. This whole movie is that he goes through this whole shit. He adapts, and I mean, the beautiful part that it's so real about this movie is that he doesn't get his kids back the way you think he's gonna
No.
get. He does,
You don't even see him have custody of them. It's just him and Miranda talking like, oh, okay, yeah, we can work something out. We've been watching you every day. And I think that's cool. I mean, they obviously miss this person in their lives.
well, at the
And
end, he does go pick up the kid. You're talking about he does pick up the kids.
Yeah, that's right. My
He
bad.
does pick up the kids. So yeah, I mean, they basically, she says mom handled it with the courts, which basically means, oh, she showed up and just said take it away or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And she is a businesswoman. She probably has some legal aid.
that's
But
true.
yeah, I mean, like, it's a not necessarily a happy ending, it's not everything ended with a nice bow tie. Like him and Miranda didn't end up back together.
Yeah, that's where I was like,
Um,
you because
you
if
know,
you get that wholesome feel, you kind of put that doubt into a child's mind, like myself. Not playing, like that you can be like, well, my parents can get back together, and then they don't, and then you're 40, and you're like, I hope my parents get back together. It's maybe
yeah,
it's something in
right.
plans, but I mean, for the most part, she does. I mean, they kind of show you that I mean, sorry, what I was trying to say is he gets a lot of things going for him. He learns how to cook. He gets his place together. He gets that badass like producing. Like I mean, and it's still not good enough for him. Like because he knows it doesn't equate to the love he has for his children. And I think once Miranda sees that, and they still fight. They still have that. And I didn't catch it where he says, "Hey, you labeled me like freaking." She made him seem all bad in front of the courts, and that now seeing that this movie made so much money, god damn, comedies really do make some money. They
If you have the
really,
right people in them. I mean, Robin
yeah.
Williams was he was it's a surefire way to make your stuff go up. I mean, he was doing he had comedy albums already out. He was established in the film industry. Um, yeah, man. I mean, it's you can't get any better than Robin Williams, especially for a movie like this. See, I wonder if, and that's why I was thinking, like, did they write this movie with him in mind, or I always wonder that about
Oh, that'd
movies
be
that
good. That'd be good.
where
Yeah.
it meshes so well with the actor and everything. Like, did they have this in mind, or was it just
I think who else would have played this role? Who else would have been able to do this at the time?
Dana Carvey, maybe?
He did the Massacre of Disguise.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
he
not
could
at
have.
this time. Not at this time. 93.
93. I mean, he was on SNL. I mean, he wore different hats.
Yeah, okay. I'll
I
give
mean,
Dana Carvey.
that was just the first person that came to mind.
No, that's a good one. I would
Eddie
take that.
Murphy.
Mrs. Doubtfire, Eddie Murphy. That would be. He did.
He already did
He
Coming
already
to
did it. He
America.
already. Oh no, Clumps. Before that. Damn.
No. Yeah, yeah,
So he does do. So Eddie Murphy
he
does do it, but he just does it later.
yeah. Well, no,
Okay.
he did it in Coming to America.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
has that. He's at least the makeup part.
But he's not a woman in that one, is he? No.
No. So
No.
I guess
But
yeah. In that
but in the
aspect,
Clump
yeah,
and Professor Clump, he's the mom.
he's
So
the mom. Um, yeah, I mean,
it'd be hard. I can't think of anybody in '93 that could
and
really.
look at that. Both of the people that I picked are SNL cast.
I could say Jim Carrey maybe, but he wouldn't.
He wouldn't.
Maybe.
He's a little young for a father.
Yeah, for dad.
I
Yeah,
guess
see,
Robin Williams really. He's
this-
like that perfect age.
it's perfect for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
this role is really good for him, man. I don't know what to say about the anybody. There's no one else. I don't think that could really because it does. He also looks great as a counterpart to Pierce Bronson's character. Stu. He really does look like this is the average guy. Hey, her drink's on me. No. He forgets that he's in the. Oh, I didn't even pay attention, dude. Silly me. I'm watching it right here in front of me. We just talked about it earlier. This is where you start seeing when he does drink. Daniel comes out.
Mhm.
This is the first part that we see.
He loosens up.
He loosens up, and so that's
And-
why
I mean, at his apartment, it's not like he's a heavy drinker or anything either. I mean, he only has a couple of drinks with Mr. Lundy before he's like can't even remember where the hell he needs to go. So he's a lightweight.
couple of drinks like in 5 minutes though. That's he ordered two. He ordered two. He had 3 drinks like in 10
Maybe,
minutes.
But he was pretty fuckered up.
Well, I mean, you drinking beer at the baseball, whatever, the pool, and he gets drunk with that. And then he goes to scotch, the hard scotch. Yeah, he got wasted.
Lightweight.
Um,
But yeah, man.
I did find something real quick right here. I think we're about to move on, and I wanted to share on Wikipedia. So hold your breath. Deleted scenes. Over 30 minutes of deleted scenes were omitted from the final cut of the film. Some of which were featured in 2008 DVD release of Mrs. Doubtfire called the Behind the Scenes edition. Had the scenes been included, the film would have run for 157 minutes. This includes an entire subplot featuring Daniel's conflict with his nosy neighbor Gloria Chaney, Polly Holiday, and an extended scene at Bridges restaurant. In 2016, 3 scenes from the 2008 DVD release, which were also included in the aforementioned 2013 Blu-ray release, gained media attention to much fanfare and praise for Robin Williams. This included a scene where Daniel and Miranda fight at Lydia's spelling bee competition and a confrontation scene with Miranda after Daniel's identity is revealed at the restaurant. He recovers later and comes home to the family. So the restaurant Bridges. Oh, what were you gonna say about that? Sorry, what were you gonna say about the deleted scene?
So it sounds like at least a couple of the deleted scenes were just fights between him and Miranda. So they probably took that out so it wouldn't seem as bitter. I mean, it already kind of feels
Yeah, it feels
pretty
it, yeah.
pretty harsh, So they were probably just like, maybe a little too real. Maybe those were parts in the book. And it very well could be. I mean, that's what they're kind of going off of. And like I said, the synopsis was pretty basic on the book, but it hit pretty much all the points of the movie.
How about Bridges? What do you think about the restaurant? Did you think it was nice?
Yeah. Have you been there?
No. Have you been there?
No, have you?
No, I haven't. I just thought it was really nice, and I was just wondering, it was probably since it was '93, it was probably made by it was probably a family of Bridges that run it. It was probably Lloyd, Jeff, and Bo Bridges. So I was just trying to ask you, who's your favorite Bridges? Everybody forgets about Bo, but
I forgot about Lloyd.
Oh my God, how do you forget about Lloyd?
Wait, I need to face because I'm blanking for a second.
Oh God, you only know Jeff Bridges.
Bo Bridges. What about Nash Bridges, huh?
Nash Bridges, cheese Freddy's. No, it's
Let's see here.
I think you might be too young for Bo Bridges.
No, I know Bo Bridges.
You know Bo Bridges?
Lloyd Bridges. That has to be their dad.
That's the dad. That's what I'm saying. That's a family restaurant, Bridges. What if they own the restaurant and you're eating at the restaurant, and here comes Lloyd Bridges as my major D talking to me, and everything just keeps falling into my food while he talks. Or he's a slapstick comedy, dude. He's funny.
Yeah, I like Jeff Bridges is probably my favorite out of the Bridges.
Okay, I think I was thinking this way too much this morning. I saw this movie this morning. I mean, Mrs. Doubtfire, and I was like, well, will Jeff Bridges' burger be the Lebowski burger? And then they also, since Jeff Bridges and Lloyd Bridges were in Blown Away with the Blown Away barbecue or the Blown Away burrito, or was it?
Dude, so what was it? Let's see, it would have been my 27th birthday. Yeah. I went to so I woke up, I had the day off, and I was like, you know what? I just want a really nice hamburger. Like, that was all I was really wanting for my birthday. I didn't want to do anything crazy. And so I went and got a burger, and I looked up, like, what's the night? Because it was like right after I moved to Austin. I moved to Austin in October, and my birthday is in December, right? And so I didn't really know the area, and I just type in like best burger around, and it's like, all right, hole in the wall, or no, it was
Abdadi or what?
No, it was a Big Lebowski name. Was the name of the restaurant, or maybe it was the name of the burger. I can't remember. Anyway, it was in a bowling alley. Like I pull up to the place. It's over there off of
Lamar.
Palmer. Yeah,
Palmer. Oh,
no, Lamar. You're
Lamar,
absolutely
okay.
right. It's Lamar and damn, it was in the right at the edge of Dessau delivery area.
Anyways,
I can't remember. Yeah. So I pull up and I'm just like, oh man, like I was expecting like a restaurant because I wanted to just go sit down, just have a nice lunch to myself. And so I'm about to leave, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. It's my birthday. Like, I'm just going to go in here. Like, who cares? I'm going to go in here. I'm going to have a burger. I'm going to watch some people bowl. Maybe I'll bowl a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, it was like a Big Lebowski theme, and that's what caught my eye. And then this burger was pretty damn good. Like, it had egg on it. Like, it was like a breakfast burger or something like that. But yeah, man, that was that was how I started my 27th birthday. I remember that very, very clearly.
Dude, burgers with bacon and eggs on it, it's pretty damn good. Well, I thought you say you're gonna go to what's it called, Casino El Camino, and get one of their bloody margaritas. Comes with like pizza rolls and a hot pocket
Ooh.
and pickles and a giant sword. It's like weird. It does everything like it has like the Bloody Mary looks like the size of a shot glass by the time you're done looking at all the shit they add onto it. But yeah, I don't know how we got to Bridges. I want to go eat at Bridges. It looked really
Yeah.
nice. It looked very elegant.
It's owned
But
by actors. That's cool.
no, no. In our fake believe side by side world,
Yeah.
the San Francisco house used for the exterior shots of the film, photographed in August 2014, several days after Robin Williams' death. A fan made a tribute to Williams can be seen at the front of the steps. You know, his death, like him, the way the hanging, that's insane. You don't want to hear it, but apparently, I mean, he was living with depression for a very, very long time. So,
And he just got diagnosed with
I know I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Parkinson's.
But he had
This-
Parkinson's.
Yeah, he was in the early stage of Parkinson's disease. Um, yeah, and also some kind of dementia.
So he was already going down. Like his mind was going, and he was just said, "Nah, fuck it."
Yeah.
Did he leave? Nah, we'll get into that later. I don't really want to. See, that's the thing about Ron Williams. I don't want to like remember him for that, but that's a fact, you know.
Yeah. No, let's see here. His distinction. Yeah, man. I mean, my thoughts on that. I've always been on the belief that like this is gonna sound maybe a little stupid, but suicide was just a little selfish.
It's always
You know,
yeah.
just a little bit. Even though people are going through something, I mean, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Uh, but it's just in this case, man, like this. I don't know. It's like you said, it's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough to hear it.
I
Tough
don't.
to hear for sure.
This is to me. It's from when I was younger. This was hard for me to. Sorry, I'm trying to put Jack on the background because I feel like our time's already gonna move on to that. To me, I don't know. Like I suffer with my shit, and trying to. You're right. To me, I just see like learning to be like normal, and this is a good transition going into Jack. Learning to be normal, or what people around you think perceive you to be normal, trying to force on you. Or I mean, I feel like for him, he just said, "Nah." Maybe he was just tired of fighting it, or maybe he got too old, or maybe I feel like it is a selfish thing, but it's also selfish for us to not know what's going on in his head.
Exactly.
It's also selfish for us to not know what they're going through. And if I mean, it is what it is. It's sad to hear a young person do it. It's sad to hear an older person do it, but it is what it is. I did hear a comedian when I was living in LA talk about how he was so selfish that he wasn't going to commit suicide because he didn't want to give his family any satisfaction of him, like of him, like they hate me so much. I thought that'd be the ultimate selfish thing, but when I realized they told me they were going to my funeral, I realized, oh, that'd be no, they were going to go to my funeral. I realized, well, no, I don't want you to be there. I don't want to. So because now I'm not going to do it because you're not going to because you're going to go to my funeral and I don't want you there. So like. He must outlive. It was a joke he went on, and I was like, "Wow, he found some light in the topic." But I mean, at that, like, it's just a joke he was going on, and it's not a joke. But you can't actually. I mean, I feel like if you're just sorry, I don't have a talk. I don't have a really. I'm setting up for Jack now. I think this is a good transition because mental health is actually very apparent. It's everyone knows about it nowadays. I love that people talk about it and are open to it. We need to know more about it. It's just a broad statement. Mental health. It just means you can it can be you have a lot of things with it, and I feel we all struggle with it. Mental health is like breathing. It's just how you cope with it. I feel that's what my background is on what I've educated myself in and what I've been exposed to, and people just seeing how other people handle their situation. And when I was watching Jack, I knew I had to go back into it with a really more of adult mind because I did see this in the theater, and I realized that I was like way too young to watch this. Not that it's not a bad movie. I was just expecting a lot more funny stuff, but this is what I got from this. This is how a family has to go with, and this movie is kind of a short movie for a lot of the information they're going to give you. It's like how does a family go through someone who has a mental health, someone that has autism, someone that has anything with them, bipolar, depression, any like, because you see that he's a child and it's your baby and they're going through this. One, you have the was it Diane Lane's mom? It's just mom and dad. I think that's what they just call them. Is it
Yeah.
Diane? I think that's, or yeah, Karen Powell. But at the end, it said mom and dad. That's why I was like, oh. But they picked Karen and Brian Powell. But Diane Lane, I wouldn't. I mean, even 2 months pregnant, I don't. I wouldn't be at a party like Halloween party. Trying to. It was my son wasn't. My son was like 6 months the first time I took him out of the house. Like like I was like just kind of like, and it wasn't. It wasn't. And we went to a restaurant. And it wasn't like I was trying to like protect him too much. I was just more like, oh, he can grab stuff now. I don't want him to take stuff off the table, and I don't have to tip more and all this stuff. So, it's kind of that stuff. But seeing the way that the movie begins, it kind of just brings you into it. You get everything right away. And I did catch it. They are kind of young parents
Hmm.
in this movie, and there is a point where their son is older than them, so that's got to be a trip.
Yeah.
Having a son or a child, daughter going through something like this, um, I really have a lot more respect for this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like this is another movie where we're talking about who would play this role. This had to be Robin Williams because he has just enough comedic chops to get through the seriousness of this movie. This movie is way more serious than it is funny, but
Well, I mean, look at the director. I mean, that kind of took me by surprise
let's
whenever I
find out.
saw that. It's Francis Ford Coppola.
Yes, I did not even know it was. I had no idea.
Hmm.
No wonder this has a very Godfather now playing. Uh, wow, I didn't know he did this. And look right here. I just haven't looked down. Francis Ford Coppola, executive producer, Jeepers Creepers 2, side by side throwback. Um, let's see. Wow, Francis Ford Coppola directed this movie.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yep.
that is insane. I really like this movie now.
Hmm.
Let's see. He did this one. So this one was with Jack, the Rainmaker. Wow, yeah, he's got some good stuff. I mean, it's Francis Ford Coppola. Like, okay, now yeah, this movie just got way because it's his I think this movie's ahead of its time. Jack in 1996, PG-13, 1 hour 53 minutes, comedy, drama, fantasy. August 9th, 1996. Because of an unusual disorder that has aged him 4 times faster than a typical human being, a boy looks like a 40-year-old man as he starts 5th grade at a public school after being homeschooled. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, writers James D. Monaco and Gary Nadu. Wow, what else did these guys write? This is the thing I like about I said now, man, I didn't know it was Francis Ford Coppola. Now when I think about, wow, look at this, the writers were the Purge series guys.
Yeah. That's
I mean, this is a psychological movie. This is in your head. Um, you're thinking you're getting, even on the marketing. You have Jack as Robin Williams as a little kid, like he's dressed like he's a 40-year-old guy dressed as a little kid, but yeah, you get, this is way more serious than a comedy. Fantasy, I guess, is because you have to believe in the world. I don't know if this is off of a real story or not.
Yeah, I feel like this disease is real, but how he looks like a normal full grown adult, I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah,
I think
something.
it's it's more like you're deformed and
Or you're
stuff like
taller or
that.
something, or you're
Taller,
just, yeah,
yeah.
bigger.
Like
Um,
I just feel like it would just come with a like he's a fully functioning 40-year-old adult and with a disease that ages you 4 times faster than everybody else. I just I think it's so much it's I don't know, man. I don't think if you had that disease you'd come out looking like Robin Williams at 40.
I'm just,
You know what I'm
well, I mean,
saying?
I think that's why
I
it's
think
fantasy.
that
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that may be the fantasy part
yeah.
about it.
Uh,
But yeah, dude, I mean, such a good movie, and just like the the casting in this movie is fantastic too. You even have Journey Smollett. You remember Jesse Smollett
yeah.
from, yeah, that's his sister.
She's a little girl.
Yeah, that little girl, little Phoebe girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then she's also in a new TV show, Lovecraft Country. So that just
Okay.
came out this year. But yeah, dude.
Well, I mean, you get the little catty, you get the catty women in the beginning of the movie, then you get the catty little girls throughout the movie.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
that's so
that,
funny, just how you see them grow up.
God, that
Uh,
that that cracked me up. So Jane says you're a freak. Who's Jane? I'm Jane, and I say you're a freak. I just started laughing like, ah, little
well,
girls.
that's yeah, dude. That's kids, man. They'll say whatever. They don't care.
Hey man, that's honest. That's a good thing, Like,
Yeah. So I have a question. Have you noticed this on IMDb, like the popularity thing that's been popping up on
yeah, I
there?
haven't touched it. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just why people are talking about it more or less.
Yeah. Well, Jack is up in popularity.
58
It's
points.
Yep.
It's not even available. Right? I had to rent it. Did you have to rent it?
No, it's on Disney Plus.
Oh God dang it! I rented it. I thought I saw it. It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it! I wasted it.
I'm sorry.
Anyways,
I thought we talked about that.
we
last
did,
time.
but I'm dumb. It comes with the territory.
Those
I
aces.
thought I saw it. Yeah, the aces, the smoking aces. Um, yeah, I did see this. I guess people are watching it now or streaming it because it's.
Oh, that's probably what it is. Yeah, it's
um,
like fairly new to Disney Plus too. All right, cool.
I mean, just they did good with the kids. They have just enough. When J Lo, I remember J Lo being in this. I remember seeing her, and then Fran Dresser. They played two good, like the teacher and then like the mom. Kind of growing up more and seeing like what I'm trying to say is seeing them go to like a bar and like a 10-year-old in there.
Mhm.
To me that sounds kind of, but I'm like, man, why started drinking in Mexico 15, 16? But I was taller than most people, so
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was easier for me. I felt like if someone was shorter or something, I feel like I maybe had an issue getting into a bar, or I don't know. But I just feel like when you're like that, you kind of. I remember being 16 and having conversations with like 40-year-olds about their lives, and I was like, oh shit, I better hope that doesn't happen to me, or stuff like that, or like they tell you something, you're like, oh, I hope that happens to me. So you get the experience when he's talking to Michael McCain, which I think is a great actor, great character actor, great just actor in general. He does a great job when he's talking to him, and you see him and you get happy. He's like, hey, Michael McCain, but he's wearing that stupid wig. Oh, the way it happens all the time, it falls over. But when you see him there and he's having that conversation with him, and that's what a real 40-year-old is going through, not a 10-year-old, 40-year-old. And I start to feel bad for him. I feel sad. One thing I did pick up on this movie is they give you Jack's point of view, the
Mhm. Yeah,
POV.
you have that multiple times where it's like him doing something, and that's the camera angle. I did pick up on that as well.
And how people look at you and how people like I love that they showed that part. I love that they showed that the point of view of Jack, what he sees.
Yes, and kind of like what you were saying about Mrs. Doubtfire, like if you're gonna buy into this world, it's very easy to see Robin Williams as a 10-year-old kid. He pulls it off. I mean, almost flawlessly.
Dude,
Uh,
he does a good job as a kid. No, I mean honestly,
he
he
really
does.
does.
You would think you're gonna get like a slapstick like Jim Carrey performance here, and you get a real nice subtle one. I
Mhm,
love the part where he's trying to go back to school and his mom says no, and he runs, Dad.
mhm.
I'm like, dude, like I lived that, and it's you see his dad. It's stressful. I didn't catch how the parents are living with this. They have a hard time struggling with too. His dad's smoking cigarettes outside, and he just needs his peace. And there's his son, and he just holds him like he doesn't even think about it. Like he doesn't. This is a man. This is my son. Like,
Yeah,
and that's one thing I did love about this movie. They showed the parents supported him. They loved him.
and it's not weird seeing him jump in bed with them or anything like that. Like there's no awkwardness where they're if I feel like if you had any other actor, just somebody who couldn't pull it off as well, it would almost kind of come off as awkward. But it's just
I mean, it
all you
does.
feel is love, dude. Like
If
it's
you,
it's crazy.
it's a good scene because if you just look at it like, oh my God, it's Robin Williams in a PJs, like, wow. No, don't look at it like that. Look at what you got to gather, and you might be too young. Some people might be too young, or maybe they've experienced something like this. But when you look at that love and that joy, like, and then they let him. He starts snoring right away, like a little kid. Dude,
Mhm.
I can't even tell you how many times I've been kicked out of my bed. Like this past week alone, just it's what it is. What your kid does. Your kid will come in and be like, all right, get the hell out. You're like, all right, but I'm up. I'm up. I can't go back to bed. I have to get lucky that he doesn't do it before like wake me up like at 1, because then I'll be up at 1 all day. I'll be up all night. So
So I had a question for you,
what's up?
because I had to like say it out loud for me to get it. What's Jack's like safe space in this movie? You remember?
Okay, where you go? Oh, the box
Yeah, and so what would you call that?
spaceship.
No, 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 no. Like, what would you call Jack in the
Jack in the
box?
box. Jack in the box.
Jack in the box.
I never got that.
I literally wrote that down and then I put LOL.
I think you're right. That's cool. Jack in the box.
You know, and obviously, like I remember if I was that age, I would be playing with goofy stuff like that. You'd have a box that you'd. I really love those scenes where he's in it too, and like going down the stairs, and he's just like, thum, 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 thum,
He's having a
thum.
conversation the whole time.
And I was kind of wondering to myself, I wonder if that is Robin Williams in there that entire time. I would hope not. I mean, because I feel like that would be so awkward.
Have you ever done that before? Gone down a box and a stairs?
It was more like a tub, you know,
tub.
like, and it's never been stairs like that. It's always like a full set of stairs.
Oh, I got
like
you.
a straight shot.
Where
Like
there's like a jump.
we're gonna go out the door. Yeah,
got
like
you.
it, yeah.
Um,
But yeah, kind I've done something similar, but not a box. Um, oh, and another thing too. I don't know about you, but I love sloppy joes. All right, I don't need some kid to be sad for me to have sloppy joes. All right, that's I'm standing firm on that. I don't know how you feel, but whenever the dad said, "Well, sometimes we make sloppy joes for kids," and I'm like, "I fucking love sloppy joes. What are you talking about, man?"
I get you, man. I got a little sloppy Joe for you. Huh? You're squaring us, lady. I love sloppy joes. I like putting onions, just raw onions on top of them and eating
Ooh.
them. I mean, that's my little twist.
That's the adult.
The adult in me. But if you just give me a sloppy Joe and you tell me eat it, I'll eat it. I actually would eat when I was doing my medical. We did the procedures and stuff. They did the medical trial stuff. They would sometimes give you sloppy Joe as a meal, and you never question it. You're like, fuck it, let's eat this. This is good because it's a big fat, like brisket burger that's coming at your face, but it's not brisket.
Yeah. No, sorry, that was just one of my notes here. That whole scene with Jack playing basketball with the kids and everything, that was great. So one thing,
I can relate to that though. That's why.
yeah,
Like,
with being so tall and everything.
Well,
like you
not even just like being that tall, being like the kid to hold the court down, and like a kid like that. I think his name is what was his name? Victor in the
yeah.
I think yeah, Victor Hugo Hernandez.
It's not really a bully, but like the
kind of the tougher kid. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not really a bully, but like
it's like
he
this click against that click kind of thing.
yeah, and I think not only was that kid from the Little Giants, the what is it, Todd Bosley, Edward.
Oh, yeah.
He's in it. I think
That's what he's from.
he's the Little Giants. Yeah,
Yes.
and I
All
think the Dallas Cowboy receiver kid, I think he's from the Little Giants too. I think he's in this movie. The
Oh, the one that was like his nephew or something.
in the movie, no, in the Little Giants, he's the little kid. He's the little black kid. Not Victor, the other one. The like not the little one either. He's in I think he's in Little Giants too. I honestly think I'd have to do a little research, but I'm like, my face recognition thing was like, hey, I think that's him. But I did like how they had that little kid. He played because Little Giants was in '94, and then in '96 he did Jack. So 2 years difference. And for a kid around that age, they can really. I feel like he was a lot older. I mean, he was older than Jack, but I feel like they still tried to make him play that kid from Little Giants, but a little bit more mature, not too much. I did like the hype man that little kid had, the little kid that was like,
Yeah.
got beat up a little bit by the bigger guy. I did like that hype man. I was just seeing. I saw if you go to IMDb, there's a shot of Francis Ford Coppola talking to Robin Williams. That's kind of crazy. It's insane. I didn't even know that. I liked also. I mean, it's just insane how he goes from being it shows you the extreme from the kids world to the adult world, how he's able to do that real quick, and because he looks like a man like that, and he goes to that bar, Nice Will's kid.
You're absolutely right about that kid being in Little Giants.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I got him.
Let's see here. His name is Ricky Deshaun Collins. I'm pretty sure that's who. Yeah.
Eric,
Warriors,
yeah,
dude, Warriors of Virtue. That was a movie. Ooh, I remember watching that as a kid, and
that was an awesome movie, dude.
dude, I would tell people, I was like, all right, it's about this kid, and he falls down a sewer, and then there's kangaroo creatures, and they're just like, what are you talking about? What is that? And then like I saw Tank Girl at one point. I was like, all right, so I just watched Tank Girl, and I got mixed up. Like that's what was going on in my head. I was like, kangaroo creatures. I mean, this has to be it. I was looking on IMDb one day. I was just like, ah, man, maybe I can find it. I found this movie, dude, and I have not watched it again, but dude, this movie sat hard on my mind for years because I could not figure out what it was.
Dude, I don't remember when I saw this movie. I want to say I saw it off the little black box, but Warriors of Virtue, I saw it, I think like at 2 or 3 in the morning after like kind of waking up. And I remember watching it and then falling asleep and then thinking I dreamt it because I talked to people. I'm like, did anybody see this movie for years, like 6 years? Nobody would talk about it. People, I mean, a lot of people I knew they know movies that well, but I'd like be like, does anybody see this movie? And no one ever told me. And then when I when I saw it, I ended up I didn't know the title. I just remember watching it and then being like, I thought I created that movie in my head. But you're right, Tank Girl, they look the same.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Tank Girl on the little black box, and when I saw that, I was like, oh wait, is that? It does give you that kind of feel because there are kangaroos.
Yeah.
Oh man, but that he was in that movie, Warriors of Virtue.
Yeah.
Look at that, Doug Jones is also in that too. God, that bastard, getting the good stuff. I didn't mean that. I like Doug Jones.
But yeah, dude, Jack. Okay, so one thing that got me was one of the kids. It was like whenever Jennifer Lopez, her character Miss Marquez, she's like, "All right, y'all are gonna do a report on what you want to be when you grow up." You know, this is kind of like a sad moment for Jack because he's just like, "Oh, I just want to be alive," you know. But one of the kids, he's like, "I want to be a gynecologist," and he's like, "I want to be a gynecologist because you, Miss Marquez." And so, you know, like she's that teacher that you had in elementary school, like right as you were kind of coming of age, is like, oh yeah, she's kind of cute, you know. I didn't get so lucky, but I, you have.
I don't know, dude. I was still in 5th grade, hanging around my action figures, so I didn't even know elementary. Like, yeah, I didn't even pay attention.
I remember leaving 5th grade, and they like the second to last day, they were like, all right, y'all are about to start stinking and having odors and growing hair in places and all this other stuff. Like, here's some deodorant.
I remember we got that too.
Don't go off and impregnate anybody, and good luck to you. Enjoy middle school. I'm like, whoa,
It felt weird. I felt like there was a hard shift right out of elementary to 6th grade.
Yeah.
Like we had our 6th grade, our 7th grade, our 8th grade, and our 9th grade campuses are all by them lonesome. So it's just you kind of you basically took over an old high school. And man, I just remember there was a hard transition from like elementary school being like some kind of fun place, being kind of joyful, and then where 6th grade just got real fucking ugly. Like it was like, and then people were talking about sex, and people I was like, okay. And like in my head, and even as an adult right now, I look at it and I always laugh when I see like a 6th grader or 7th grader trying to get laid. I mean, maybe nowadays they have a better chance than when we did, because I was just like, dude, there's no way you can get laid. And then nowadays, internet just ruins everything. Yeah. So it's just like, I just think that like it was. I would love to keep that innocence as long as you can, but there's a reality there. You have like basically.
I think it also depends on you kind of like your personality too. Like, because I was kind of like you, like, man, like I wasn't like 6th, 7th grade. I wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. I would have friends around me that were like, oh yeah, we did doing this. And it was probably like 8th or 9th grade. That's when I was like, oh, hey, look at that girl. Like that's whenever it really started to kind of.
Well, I had a girlfriend, but it was like we're just together. I was like, I don't even know why. It's I mean, it's your puppy love, your first relationship, trying to figure it out. But that like, I think I don't know, because then when you have a girlfriend and you don't do anything with them, like it's kind of like, well, you're just friends, and then it's the way it's supposed to be. But I don't know. Some people like to just some high school kids get to have sex, some don't. I feel under that they get to do that stuff. So to me, like I feel like I really got to focus in on the high school stuff. You know,
Yeah.
that wasn't like that. I mean, that's really not my persona either. Like I just kind of like
Same.
don't care, but I don't know. I feel like the kids are starting to get mean. What's up? I mean, they started to get like that. Those little girls, like that Jane and the Phoebe. Those are the ones that you already started saying like, oh, girls already
Yeah.
being like even like they'll tell you those two the women in cat uniforms. They're being like that too, and they're older.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny that you mentioned that. And honestly, that entire opening scene, like I forgot that even happened. Because I mean, I would catch this movie on like Stars and stuff whenever it would come on, and I always remembered like the beginning being him having the little test done to him as a baby and stuff like that. But I had totally forgotten that whole scene where it's like they're out and about doing something like, oh, I'm only 2 months pregnant kind of thing, like, and then you have a full grown baby inside you. And whenever they were talking, whenever I was kind of watching it earlier, I was like, whenever they're talking about her being bloated and everything, I wonder if she was physically getting bigger. As
Oh,
you know what I'm
they're
saying? It's
talking
like,
because he's
yeah,
aging so fast.
and it looks like her belly is just getting
Well,
bigger.
they
And
keep
it's
saying
like,
two
oh,
months, and she don't have a belly at 2 months, but she does, and that's why they're
mhm,
talking shit. Okay, it makes sense to me now. But
yeah,
even like I mean, just seeing like elementary, I still remember my first day of elementary school. I still remember like I could go remember that way back then. I remember the halls. I know it wasn't until my brother got to elementary school when I went to go take him lunch. I had to use the restroom, and I realized, oh damn, I forgot these are little toilets or little urinals. They're all down to my ankles. I was like, how the hell does an adult pee in here? And they're like, adults don't pee in here. You gotta go to the if you want to go to the adult one, or use these ones, or use the ones in the urinals. I was like,
it's kind of like
okay.
Billy Madison. Like,
Or like what's it called? Is it Major League, or no? It's the one where it's like Tom Selleck plays in Japan, and it's a movie where he has to go. He's the tallest person everywhere he goes, and he always goes to use the urinals. They're all like all the way down his knees and stuff. Now, dude, I love this movie, Jack. Just for the fact of knowing more or less, cause like if when I was younger, I watched this in theater, and I thought it was supposed to be haha slapstick, and it does have those moments, but it's just way more darker than not darker. It's just it's enlightenment or something, because I think this movie is relevant now.
they're more dramatic. Both of these movies, I think you keep saying darker, but I
Yeah,
think
I'm not trying to say dark. Yeah, dramatic.
in your yeah, more dramatic than most
Yeah, I
most
don't mean yeah.
comedies.
I
I
mean
think that's kind of what you're going for.
yeah.
Um,
Because I'm thinking about it now, and if it has a popularity now and it's on Disney Plus, maybe because they're pushing it on Disney Plus, but no, this could be this could be like if you watch it now, autism, if
yep.
a form of autism.
Well, and another thing too, I mean, a Robin Williams movie that, let's just say that a lot of people that have Disney Plus have never seen Jack. And they're like, "Oh, Robin Williams, I'll give that a try." And then they get this fantastic movie with Diane Lane. Like I said, uh Diane Lane she's a perfect mom character in this movie. She's just that age where, like you said, she's kind of young. This is her first kid, and hell, even Robin Williams looks older than her, but it plays well. Like, it's
She does it good.
believable. Yeah, and she's like that cool mom. She's that mom that's his best friend, and like
Yeah,
this is her, like,
I
it almost gets a little skewed, like, oh, this is, she wants the best for him, but she wants him there. Like, she needs him just as much as he needs her, kind of thing. And I think that's where she's just like, oh, he doesn't need me anymore. I think she even says it in the movie,
yeah.
you know?
And that's no, that's a big thing. Like she starts to feel like her purpose is like she's just trying to fill it in, and that's why when the husband sees her all the time, he's just like, so what's up,
Well, and he's out there actually, living his life, his career. He's focused on that, and it's getting to the point now where Jack wants to go out and be a part of society. He doesn't want to be somebody who's just,
But they're also it's a different scenario, and they're also young parents at that too, because they're
yeah,
he's 10 years old. I was what this movie reminded me of was man the like the cholos from my from my freshman year of high school when they would get alcohol, and I'd be like, how the hell do y'all get access to alcohol? Your parents buy it for you? Well, I found out that there were some special needs children that were in there, they'd put them in like I guess just like regular classes just to kind of get them the exposure. Well, they would pick like the remedial classes. Well, those were those cholos would be in there because they wouldn't be going to school, or whatnot. Like, so they'd be in there, and then they make friends with them, and they'd find out that some of those people were like 21, and they're like, so it'd be like, "Wait, you're 21? Can you buy beers?" Like, "Yeah, you can buy beer." So they get them. They get them to buy beer and stuff. And I remember being like, "How the fuck, like, y'all did that?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, a few times." I mean, they opened up to me like that, and I'd be like, "Holy shit, that actually." But then I didn't think about that because there are people from La Cunha, the Mexico part, that they come over, like they'll go to high school all the way to like 10th grade, 11th grade, and then they'll come over to the States, and they'll be like, "Well, we don't acknowledge any of your credits, but we'll start giving you." So by the time they graduate, they are 21, and then they don't. I mean, but they've only been in high school for 4 years. So it's just like they just start late. So it's like I that's something very common. I noticed. I was like, oh, just. I mean, there's also a guy I grew up with. He was a kind of a man giant. He was very big at looked like an older man. I don't know. He's my age, so I don't, I don't want to like make fun of him or anything. But he would. I remember he would in high school. We were seniors, and you had to find beer or something, and no one could get it. He'd show up, and he'd be like, y'all can't get any beer. Sucks to be you. And he'd have like a 6-pack with him. Cause like, how'd you get that? I just walked in because there's, a little gas station with a little card, and he would go in the gas station, grab it and walk out. And be like, how did you do that?
Dude, there's a gas station like that in my hometown. Like there's a kid younger than me that was buying me beer. And then I did it a couple times too. I was still babyface back then too. I didn't have a wisp of a beard or anything. But yeah, it was kind of funny because he wasn't beer, it was Four Locos back then. Because you were just trying to get as plastered as you could for as cheap as you could. It was rough.
I tried Four Locos for a little bit, man. It's not good. It's no good. I feel like they're just taking a Gatorade and Red Bull and then putting highlighter in it and then putting like some kind of moonshine in there. You go, drink this shit.
Yeah,
it's called Four Locos, man. It's called Crazy. Four Crazies. You're not supposed to drink it.
No.
Like that's the whole point of the thing.
So let's see here. Oh, let's see. Oh, let me say "oh" one more time.
Wait. What?
Oh.
What?
So the Pog, man. Pog. He's
that
like, I want my Pog back. It's a slam. Dude, nobody would know what a Pog is today. The hell is he talking about?
He said my slammer, and he pulls it out of his pocket.
Like the cop was gonna take it. Like, oh, dude, I've been waiting for this one.
What'd you get from that? What'd you gather from that?
That the cop was into Pog, so it wasn't just a kid thing.
Exactly. That's what I got. I got that too. I got that at that point because especially '93, like you there. That's the whole.
Well, this is '96.
Oh, sorry, '96. I mean, even that whole the whole time frame from the '90s, it was more like you got to be an adult and put your child things away, and it's like, well, some things I can hold on to. It's like,
yeah.
But it's. I mean, nowadays it's like whatever. But back then it felt like there was a lot more push towards growing up and having to do things. Man,
I agree. But yeah, did that because I had Pogs. They were more like collectible for me, more or less, than actually playing with people. But yeah, it was. I remember them.
We used to do it on your hand if you piss somebody off.
It's like quarters.
Yeah. I have Jack in the background. I knew this was gonna happen. I was focusing on it muted, and I'm actually just seeing Robin Williams' performance. It's beautiful, man. He really gets it down because he could have just. I mean, if this would have been made 10 years later, and you say you casted Will Ferrell, he would have. As much as we love Will Ferrell, but I just don't think
he couldn't. I don't think he would have had. He could have pulled it off as effortlessly as Robin Williams did. Like he just hits that performance like you totally believe that he has that mindset.
I did want to say, and I wanted to get your feedback on it. There are parts where he breaks character, where it's Robin Williams talking, not Jack. Like, did you catch that?
Was it like at the bar with
certain lines he says that are not a little 10-year-old saying?
What would you give me an example?
I'm trying to think specifically, but there's some parts where I was just noticing. Man, I know when he's talking to Michael McCain at the bar, he says something that's like he says a joke there, and it's an adult joke because even when he gets punched in the face, and that sucks, man. When you're used to joking around, that's when I realized I was a little too sober. When you're joking around with somebody, and then you joke about fighting, and then they just punch you, and like, you want to go, and you're like, no, I was just joking, but okay, like, it's like I forgot what he says, but there's certain scenes here. I gotta go back and write them where it's I feel like it's Robin Williams saying a line. I feel like there was a part where he's having a conversation with Diane Lane, and it's like it feels like Robin Williams is talking to his mom, the mom,
Hmm.
instead of Jack. But I can't really off the top of my head. I just feel like there's certain things that he says here that's like, oh, there's a also when they're in the man. Well, we're gonna bring up this character in a minute. When they're in the clubhouse, and when he brings Mr. Woodford in there,
Yeah.
and he starts saying something, and it's more like lighting the farts on fire. Did you guys ever do that?
I did kind of like by myself, but I was probably a little
Like
bit older.
like in the can in the cup?
No, I didn't do that. No. I
Oh,
just like
I
tried
still
to.
do that now. I still do the Inferno now. I got to make sure I still got it in me. It's it was shown to me in high school, and then I just kind of kept it going. I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, you see it Dumb and Dumber, but you don't know you really think it works. But I mean, methane gas, what the hell? Um, but I think with him going up into the clubhouse, and then you even get the what's his name, Edward, the kid
He's
from
like, it's not gonna hold. Like he tells him that multiple times.
yeah, he says, I don't think we're supposed to. He's 150 pounds extra, and he's like, he plays the nerd, but you know, he just very lightly. But we have Bill Cosby in this movie.
Yep.
I don't know how you feel about that.
It was. I don't know, man. Like I
It's
didn't.
it's
It's
so
weird
weird.
watching
It's
it
weird
now.
because
Like beforehand, there was nothing tainted about it, but it seems just like that little bit is tainted.
and
Um,
and he in this he gives a good performance.
yeah,
He does a good job, and it's just like shit. You're able to
I think another thing is like it's not like he was. If he was around like teenagers or something, it'd be a different story. I feel like, but since he was around kids, I think that made it almost kind of makes it timeless. Like you can just take this little clip of time. And it's kind of like the Cosby Show. I mean, there's no reason to write off his entire career. I think it's like it's like R. Kelly with
I mean, I don't know.
a
This is to
remix
me.
to Ignition. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm gonna listen to that song. I'm sorry, I'm not a big Cosby fan or Cosby Show fan either. I'm not like gonna sit and rewatch it, but I don't I don't think that anybody should completely be washed of their credits or contributing
I
to
think
society.
I think
I understand where people have problems with it, but sorry, go ahead.
I mean, no, I don't mean to interrupt or anything. I think I wanted to talk about what you're saying right there. That's why I don't want to forget this. But like, I think with like, you can't do the wrongs like in this scenario at all. You know, I mean, the movies are made, the shows are made. Um, like, because I have, I guess, some other thing we can bring to this, but with him, with the thing that he did is kind of it's a lot of thought behind that, and you got to wait for it for so long. You know, it's kind of I don't want to talk about the act that like it didn't happen. I don't think we should forget it. He's in this movie. Obviously, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see. I'm like, Leonard Part Six, or is it Leonard Part Six? Right?
Something like that. I know
Yeah,
what you're talking
Leonard
about.
Six. Sorry, Leonard Six. His that movie. I get shit for that movie because I like it, and people like they think it's a stupid movie. I'm like, nah, man, it's a pretty good movie. It's like a Black James Bond. You know, it's kind of suburb dad. It's kind of cool. You know, I like watching that movie. I remember watching that movie. But it has Bill Cosby in it, and that was probably the hype of doing what he was doing when that movie came out, or like at the end of his. Well, I don't know how long he did it. I don't know that much, but I know he did all that stuff. But I mean, I still watched that movie. I'm not gonna not say it. I watched Jack, liked it, but it's
No, you're right. It's Leonard Part 6.
Leonard Part Six. But the thing is, it's like the thing about the Bill Cosby. It went so long. I don't know how to describe it. Like the Elliot Page and Ellen Page situation. I think I can help you out here with that Pam Pan situation. Like like that's more of a BS to me thing that people just want attention or something. Where Bill Cosby is now like Pill Cosby at that, and that's kind of it's kind of dark, man. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not trying to say that like we're all perfect or anything, but it is kind of it's weird because you're watching this and I'm like, am I supposed to support or what do I do?
It's it's more of like an abuse, an abuse of that power and that fame and everything like that. It's just
Because what I'm trying to say also say is like
But I mean, you have Harvey Weinstein
that's what
doing
I
the
say.
same damn thing, and he doesn't get vilified. I mean, he has been vilified pretty damn bad, but not near as bad. Now, I don't know if he drugged anybody.
Well,
That's
well,
really where it comes into,
well. The
you
thing
know,
is with Bill Cosby. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Bill Cosby is the fact that he's actually like a famous figure that you see. Where I because where I would say we watch Harvey Weinstein's and I never think about it. You know, it's because I mean because he's the producer, you never see his face. With Bill Cosby, you actually see his performances. So I think that's where it kind of clicks. You know, what's a
though I think it's either Raw or Delirious, where Eddie Murphy's talking about Bill Cosby calling him, and he calls Richard Pryor like, fuck what he says.
I was saying the Bill Cosby joke. Bill Cosby has a joke about giving his kids cake for breakfast,
Mhm.
and his explanation behind his wife, and it's a dumb joke, but I remember growing up watching it and thinking it was funny, and I was telling that joke to. I think it was when we were on set a couple months ago, and I was telling that joke to somebody like younger people, like, you never heard of this joke by Bill Cosby? And they're like, no, I don't know about him. And I was like, oh yeah, he did this joke. It's kind of stupid. I started telling the joke, and one of the older guys heard it. They go, oh, is that a Bill Cosby joke? And I was like, damn, that's hardcore. Like that's the first time I ever heard that. And then I
Yeah,
was like, but that's just so ironic that your name is Bill. And I was like, damn, and what you did, like, that's crazy.
I mean, he had Fat Albert, everything like that, dude. Little Bill, I remember that going as I was kind of growing up.
Yeah,
S-
I remember watching
Um,
Little Bill. I
mhm.
mean, I remember watching Fat Albert too. I think Fat Albert reruns. I think with this, he doesn't hinder this movie enough, but he does play that part. I think if you were to recast this movie and you couldn't, let's say Bill Cosby got caught then, you couldn't do this movie. Danny DeVito would have been play that role a little,
Mhm.
but I think that's what we were trying to say earlier. Who could have played the role, and we couldn't think of anybody else. Like right here, Robin Williams could only play this role, and well, not only him, but he's like his role was for him. But even the his interaction with the kids, the way he does it, he doesn't go full like boy. He's always scared. He's always has a shield. His mom even says there's a point where he has a defense in front of him. But when you see him with Mr. Woodford, he is very comfortable. They are acting, but it's also like Bill Cosby and Robin Williams acting like together. Like that's something for itself that they I don't know. They're just I'm trying to say is like you have two grown ass adults like it's acting, but they're portraying something that has a good value to it. And I guess what I'm also trying to gather is just because Bill Cosby's in this movie doesn't mean he should devalue this movie. I don't think this movie should be talked about. I don't think this is a great movie for if you have to if you have a family member or someone with mental health or like and they have issues dealing with it. This movie could kind of help you. It's not it's just a light graze, and I think especially for the time, I think this is a good movie for just kind of gets it out there because they don't focus on it too much. You just get glimpses of it. I feel kind of weird with the Fran Dresser character, like she's just like that, and then you meet women like that, and
Yeah.
the way that they come strong like that, or they like it, they like what they like, and she likes him, but he's a little boy, so it's kind of weird. Like you're a little boy, and but you look like a man. Like how do you even that the growing process for you has to be kind of hard for you too. You're growing all you like. I guess you think that's normal,
Yeah.
so it feels normal, I guess.
I don't know if you noticed, but there were a lot of scenes where they would show like weather or passage of time, and it was going at what I would assume is 4 times the rate of normal because it would always seem like it was going by. I was like, do you think that that's what he sees, or is it
Well,
like normal? You know what I'm saying? Do you
I,
think that's how Jack views it?
until you said that, you cleared it up for me. I think he does. I think I was trying to figure out what that was, and you're right. I think that's what it is. It's showing time past the way. God, see, this movie's kind of layered. That's
Hmm.
gotta.
I think
It,
that's why you have Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, he you know he's a distinguished director at this point, like very.
oh, dude, no, this is already at the end. Like he's already
Yeah.
like he's already been established. He's done this, so no wonder you can feel a little grace of love here from a cinematic point. Because this movie looks like it. Now that I know that it's him, like I can see how he was able to keep it together. I feel like this movie could have easily came undone real fast and been like a super slapstick comedy movie, but it's not. It's heartwarming a lot of the time.
Hmm.
And also seeing Robin Williams hang out with these kids is kind of funny.
Oh yeah.
Let's see let's see what this
Oh,
movie made on the Wikipedia. So, okay, so it was a $45 million budget, and it boxed 58.6 million. So
so
it went above its budget, but it barely did.
I bet you they were not happy with that.
Man, you know what? I don't care. I'm happy that we did these movies.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say I don't care. Like you're not happy, but I'm like, you know what, man? I don't care what anybody says about these two
I'm just
movies.
saying, like, I as a studio, like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
well, I
yeah.
mean, even then it was Vista Pictures. That's who just, and that's Walt Disney. I mean, this has been Disney forever. I just didn't realize. I thought it was like a Fox movie that they
So did
acquired.
I. I thought something like that too.
Okay. And like I said, we've had Hollywood Pictures before. I can't remember
Mhm.
which movies they were, but it seemed like Hollywood Pictures is done now.
Yeah, 13 years, 2007, from February 1st,
Wow.
1989, 31 years ago, and April 27th, 20,
So it only
2007.
lasted what, 18 years? No. 28 years. No. I don't
You're
know.
right, 18 years.
I don't know how to read time.
That's a good. No,
Damn it.
Parent products, motion pictures, Parent, Walt Disney Studios.
Okay,
Hollywood
let's see
Pictures.
here. The
Man,
Invisible.
I think with what you I mean, this is a Disney movie. Damn, it was free. I paid $5 for this. I didn't buy it either, so I got to rebuy
Sorry,
this.
I hate to keep rubbing that in your face, but it's on Disney Plus if
Hey,
you want to rewatch it.
You know what? I might just skip episodes of The Mandalorian. I might go do that instead. Oh, if you go to the stair, everybody.
Just watch it. Just watch
Oh,
the
yes,
show.
I'm just.
It's got Baby Yoda. If you can't appreciate that, then
Hey.
Oh, Son-in-Law was and Tombstone.
That's
Those
why
are the two
I think we
movies.
saw.
Yeah.
Son-in-law. Um, Baby Yoda. I enjoyed Star Wars. I'm just not in love with it. Let's see. 58 million. Yeah, you're right. I mean, for Robin Williams, I want to know what his net worth was during the night during this 400. How much did he get paid from Mrs. Doubtfire? Because this is ridiculous. 441 million, and then he still grossed up, like he didn't lose any money on this. I wonder if Bicentennial Man how that did.
I don't think it did very good, from what I remember. Let's see here.
So did he transition well in the 2000s? No, right? He just stayed really good in the 80s and 90s.
It wasn't so much in the 2000s. I think RV was probably the last one that they really tried to
Get him to.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Oh, dude, I just accidentally kind of went by the. I already saw the ratings on them. Oh wow, really?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Oh my god, let's already start hitting that part because God, this is ridiculous. All right, so you ready to do ratings?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's do
All
it.
All right, let's see. So from 99 to like 2000, we'll say 2009. So 10 years. I mean, he had Night at the Museum, Happy Feet, License to Wed, August Rush, World's Greatest Dad. These are some not necessarily gangbuster movies, but I enjoyed them.
Recognized movies.
Yeah. There's one Man of the Year. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't
Where
seen
he-
it, but it's when he has the wig, that
Yeah.
powdered wig on.
He
What-
has.
What is that about?
He's like a Jon Stewart TV host,
Mhm.
and they like joke around with him like, "Oh, you should run for president," and then he runs for president,
And
and
wins.
then he wins, and then they figure out it's almost like a conspiracy. Like it totally changes tone halfway through the movie, and then you're like, "Oh, this was a rigged election," kind of thing.
Ah!
And so spoilers. Sorry, but it's kind of crazy. I remember I watched it whenever I was younger, and I was just like, damn, that I was expecting. It was kind of like what you were expecting from Jack. Like, oh, I just expect this to be a funny movie, and then it kind of has that tonal shift, and I was just like, oh, okay. Get Bruce, 1 Hour Photo, Death to Smoochie, Insomnia. So he had like in 2002. That's when he was just like, I don't give a shit. I'm doing the dramatic roles or
1 Hour
dark
Photo,
humor.
Death to Smoochie, and Insomnia. Like, yeah.
Final Cut, The Night Listener, That was another one. RV, yeah. And then Merry Freaking Christmas, Angriest Man in Brooklyn, Absolutely Anything. The Butler, he was Dwight D. Eisenhower. That's pretty cool.
What year is the Man of the Year?
2006.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Dude, yeah. I mean, look. This goes. Look. So the ratings for Mrs. Doubtfire on IMDb, out of 245,795 votes, it's a 7 out of 10, which is good.
It's fair. Yeah.
Fair. And then on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 71 on Tomato Meter and a 77 audience score. I thought that audience score would be a lot higher.
I thought it would be too. Maybe it's just me and you that is feeling this nostalgia for it. I
Maybe.
mean, and it has over, what is that, 1 million ratings?
1 million. 1 million ratings.
Jesus.
Look at
Yeah, it's
this
the
here.
most ratings we've seen on the audience score so far.
Damn. On paper, Mrs. Doubtfire might seem excessively broad and sentimental, but Robin Williams shines so brightly in the title role that in results is difficult to resist.
And that's
So-
the critics' consensus, but what we like to call it here on Side by Side is the critics' conscience.
Conscious.
So I think we're just gonna keep on doing that. I've been going back and listening to some of our old podcasts, and that seems to be the consensus for the other ones that we do that. So consciences.
Hey, we're not even that far from a critic's conscious. What I'm trying to say is be aware of the critic's conscious and understand if you ever catch yourself being one, find a way to get out. But at the same time,
get your conscience checked.
and that's also, or you can just do what we did. You find a good friend and you critique other people's shit, and then you say you're not a critic.
Well, listen. If you just watch The Mandalorian, we wouldn't have to be going back and forth like this. All right.
We're trying to find out who's the dominant one in the relationship. He's trying to break me, but he's doing well. I did watch the first episode, and I did like it a lot. I'm just right now. I just finished watching Night Stalker as well, and that is gruesome.
It was good though. You enjoyed it?
Too good. I recommend it if you have. I mean, it's just a dark story in general. I know
I feel like there should be. I've seen a couple memes about it. But Bernie with those mittens. I mean, he's taking over the internet.
Taking over.
It's fair. I mean, it's a great picture.
I just don't. I'm like I don't go, man. I'm like I don't do drugs anymore. I think I need to get up.
I tried. We tried watching Bridgerton. That's another one that's really taken off on Netflix, and I've seen a lot of people comment about. And it's from the lady who makes Grey's Anatomy. And it's like in the 1800s, and they're all like prim and proper and all this other shit, and people that don't have anything else to do besides I don't know what they do. They don't seem to do work or anything. They just walk around and try to marry people off. But we got to the second episode, and they just said something and they just kept saying it. I was like, this is getting annoying. The one thing that is kind of cool about it is the music in it. Like, it has modern day music, but it's like,
is it a musical?
No, it's not a musical.
Oh, sorry about that.
I would be more inclined to probably enjoy it if it was. But no, it has like modern day songs, but like instrumental versions. Did you ever watch Westworld?
Yes.
Okay,
I didn't see the whole way through, but I did see the beginning.
That's fine. You know how the music goes. Like that Black Hole Sun on piano, like an old timey piano, and that's kind of how this show is. Like they mix that modern music in with this 1800s vibe. So that's essentially what's going on there. So I did enjoy that aspect. Like there was that Ariana Grande song, "Thank You Next." Like that was one of the songs that played. I was like, I've heard this before, and it just was like, oh, okay. Like I picked up on it right away. But yeah, man, there's a lot of good shows. I'll have to check out that Night Stalker. But
dude, it's if you know the, I don't even want to say the name of the serial killer because it's but I mean, if you know the story, it's just watch it. I don't want to give anything away because it's good, man. The way they tell the story, it's just really dark. I mean, and I'm getting dark on this one. It's if you just know the story of the Night Stalker, it's really gross. But then the way they do it, it's to the point where it's chewable, it's digestible. You're not really getting grossed out. But yeah,
I would say, sorry, just to completely not even have a segue, but on these scores, man, like you said, I'm surprised that the audience score isn't higher, but for 1 million reviews to still be almost an 80%, that's something, man. I mean, for 1 million people, you're saying 77% like that. It's it's pretty awesome.
I just
Uh,
googled the highest, not the highest rated. I was gonna see most view. I was gonna write most rated. Sorry, I get the wrong.
Most rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, most rated. I want
It's
to see.
probably like Gone with the Wind, wouldn't you think?
No, it's just giving me here. I mean, freaking. It's got Black Panther, Parasite, Avengers, Endgame, Knives Out. These are all movies that recently came out.
Oh, that's weird.
This is like these are all after 2015, and they have a 90. I mean, I'm just trying to see who voted the most.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Number of reviews is what we should call it. Highest rated movie or number of reviews. Sorry, everybody. Number. Just trying to see what's a really because that's a lot, man. 1 million.
Yeah.
I thought maybe Nutty Professor had might have had a little bit around that, but I think I only had like 66.
Yeah.
It's
Dang.
honest-
I was looking at Casablanca has 99% on Tomato Meters critic and 95% on audience score.
Damn,
That's pretty
Casablanca.
impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, even the Nutty Professor, 600,000 people voted. That's a lot, but still, damn, 1 million. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Jack because I know I'm gonna get super pissed off right now.
Yep.
I see on IMDb out of 56,065 votes, it got a 5.810, which I don't. That's below us. I think I look at the 10 scale as like that's like a 58. You know, like you got a grade to do. Let's see what it was on. Oh my God, I'm going to punch somebody in their conscious mind. God. God, Jack, critics consensus. Robin Williams.
No, you said it wrong.
I said it wrong again.
Yeah, it's conscience.
Oh, damn it! The critics
No, it's consensus. You had it right, but you
But
said it wrong.
I said it wrong for the show.
Yeah,
Sorry, Charlie.
we're trying to keep continuity.
Continuity.
Continuity. I'm sorry.
Robin Williams' childlike energy is channeled in all the wrong places with Jack. F.U. A bizarre tragedy that aims for a tragedy of but digs deep into queasy smolts. Smart SCHMALTZ.
Schmaltz.
This is
Uh,
I don't like this conscious mind right here.
That's
That's horrible. That's a horrible write
It
up.
sounds like a Jewish word, like schmaltz.
Yeah, it's true.
It sounds like something I'd hear in a Mel Brooks movie.
So this is like a culture word. Well, I mean, come on. Childlike energy is he's not even he's not producing a whole lot of energy. He's I didn't until watch it this time. He's more scared if anything.
Even that poster, he looks like a 10-year-old. I don't even know what. Like, I know it's Robin Williams, but he's dressed up like a 10-year-old.
All right, I'm getting upset because it's 18 on the tomato meter out of 34. Yeah. And then, I mean, this thing still got out of the audience 226,338, made a 49, which I think this is like an 80. This one should be.
Let's see here. What is it? Roger Ebert. That's who I always tend to go with.
Yes, tell me what he said.
And I don't see it on here. I don't see him. Oh, wait, page 2. Never mind. Roger.
Damn, this is horrible. God, they really...
Okay. All right. So Roger Ebert, Williams works hard at seeming to be a kid inside an adult body. And some of his inspirations work well, but he has been ill-served. He has been ill-served by a screenplay that isn't curious about what his life would really be like. His original score is 1.5 out of 4.
What did he say? Was it the last phrase of that sentence?
But he has been ill-served by a screenplay that isn't curious about what his life would really be like. So I think that's where the fantasy comes in, where it's just not
believable. Is that what he's saying?
I think he's saying that it's just not as grounded like he's not able to ground you in reality, or it's not exploring as much. Like his problems with the writing is essentially what it is. It's like, let's see here.
Okay, if we were gonna say for movie purpose, and out of all the main parts,
I mean,
maybe the writing's a little bit of the weak point, but it's not weak. I think he gives a solid performance. As like it's like I said, the only parts like I gotta figure out the parts where I know he kind of cracks, so I can feel Robin Williams and not Jack. There are some of that. I will say that because Robin Williams does have that energy to just kind of spontaneous shoot things. Where I was like, Jack's a little boy. He wouldn't really know what that is. But also like I don't know what a little boy in his situation knows. But I will say that they have the club brings them together because of the porno and the penthouse, and Jack can get a penthouse like nothing, and so he has value there. And then these kids get to know him, and that's what they do. They're getting to know who he is and find out. And at the end, you have the whatever the bully little group was that they're calling for him because they miss him.
Yep.
You know, and
that's how kids work, man.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part.
No, no, I think it's right. I think this is you got to look at it into the kids' point of view, from their perspective as well, and just see them how would they handle hanging out with a adult, you know, and a kid brain with adult body.
And I just want to say that Roger Ebert, like his Ebert, excuse me, his review is much lengthier and has more to say. That was just a consensus. I mean, not a consensus, excuse me. It was just a snippet of like what he was saying. Roger Ebert also died in 2013. I did not realize that.
Yeah. He did. The other one, Siskel, he passed away in like 2002 or something like that.
Yeah. So, but that is one critic I do respect, and I will look at his thoughts and see what he comes up with things, just because, I mean, he's established, not necessarily, that doesn't necessarily make him right, but I will hear him out at the very least. There's some reviews on here that, you know, there's nothing. Someone deserves a timeout for letting this mawkish misfire get to the screen. That's ridiculous. USA Today, you better get somebody like that's ridiculous.
Well, the good thing that's called USA Yesterday. Goddamn.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you got the movies aren't just I sit down and work. You got to, you know, I'm finding out some of my favorite movies. I've always known this actually, are they make you think, and you fill in the blanks with your brain.
And there were a lot of good scenes, like with the butterflies and with the butterfly dying whenever it came back, you know, like he saw the entire life of that butterfly and he felt that way because he has a short lifespan as well. Like he's like, this is me, you know. He watched him. What's that?
I do feel bad for the dad too. You get him that he's working and he's trying to also get a sense with his son. And I mean, it seems like he'd have a badass job, but he's got this stress he's got, you know.
And he seems like a legitimate dad. I'll give him.
Yes,
he did a great job at acting as a dad.
What's his name? Brian. His actual name is Brian in the movie, but Brian Kerwin.
Brian Dennehy. No,
Brian Dennehy. What are you doing here, Brian Dennehy? I don't know the baby. Hey, Brian Dennehy. And a little shout out to the actual podcast itself. Episode 12, Side by Side. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, as of today, is at 36 views. So it's looking good.
Good. I also, this is kind of random, but I was on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was just kind of looking at the little bar here, and they had a trending on RT, which is, I'm assuming, is Rotten Tomatoes, best Amazon show, and then it had podcasts right next to that, so I clicked on it. And it said they have a podcast from Rotten Tomatoes. It says Rotten Tomatoes is wrong about, and then they go into the movie. And they've done Spider-Man 3, Mortal Kombat, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, When Nature Calls. Interesting.
Well, they're just picking movies that are bad and then talking about how they're good?
I guess so. Or movies that were rated poorly. Because they have Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker, How the Grinch Stole Christmas,
dude.
I didn't realize.
Okay,
Hocus Pocus,
dude. They have I've already done a few of these movies, but they have episode 9. Can you read it out loud to our listeners?
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes is wrong about Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and I'm assuming that that's are they doing both of them? I kind of want to know.
Look at the
Oh
titles.
yeah, it's Pet Detective and then When Nature Calls.
So
Oh,
they did that's episode 9 for them, which is episode 5 for us. I just don't know when they did theirs. But
this is kind of interesting. We're gonna have to
I'm
do a
gonna
little bit of
investigation here.
yeah, because did they steal our idea? Did somebody tell them about side by side? And they're like,
Somebody
oh,
probably leaked it. They leaked
I
it
mean,
on
they only have 18 episodes.
even though I posted everything extremely late. you know, okay, well, I believe we're on. I mean, there's so many things you can say about
Yeah.
Robin Williams, and I think what we're finding out through Side by Side, it's just a little like we appreciate it. It's a little out there for just what we watch and what's
Yeah.
out there to watch. And I mean, I suggest watch both of these movies. If you're a Robin Williams fan, if you're not a Robin Williams fan, if you just want to watch a good performance, I mean, he as an actor myself, he takes over roles and he dominates them, and he comes through in his performance, and he does a good job in here. For somebody to give this a 13, that's bad. That means that
Yeah.
other people that are easily influenced and be like, I don't want to watch it. It's a 13. Why? Because it's a 13. Like you don't even like give it a shot.
No.
And by the way, I just looked up and I saw the scene where they're going from and Jack where they're Halloween, and one of the kids, Jack is a Superman and the other kid is a doctor, but one of the kids is a cheerleader. I didn't even realize that. One of the John, he's a cheerleader.
I didn't even notice that either.
I didn't even know. I just looked up and he was there. But all right, let's rate him.
All right. Let's do Mrs. Doubtfire then Jack. What do you got for Mrs. Doubtfire? I'm curious.
God, I don't even know, man.
Yeah, you do.
I'm
Just tell me.
It's like a 13, man.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
like a 12.
That's fine.
It's like
No.
I think it's a 13. I
Okay.
mean it's because I can relate so much to that movie beyond the movie, just the material itself, and I feel like I could use that nowadays if to a friend or something.
I'm giving it a 13.
Yeah,
This movie can teach you lessons throughout your entire life. From being a child, going through divorce, from being an adult trying to figure out, hey, you need to get your stuff together, from I mean there's so many different aspects of this movie that can resonate whatever part of your life you're in. You can click into this movie and really hone in and be like, oh, I really feel like if a movie can change your perspective on something or help solidify a perspective, something like that, I think that is a good quality movie that you should take 2 hours of your time to watch this movie because it's fantastic.
that name for like 2 hours, dude.
No, and this movie totally has nostalgia factor. First off, also it's Robin Williams, but like I said, I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who hasn't seen Mrs. Doubtfire. Like I said, it had over 1 million reviews on the audience score. That alone just tells you that people want to get their opinions out about this movie, about either they hated it or loved it. And yeah, even with 1 million views, 77%. I mean, that is.
I want to know how many of those million views are recent, and maybe like might thinking that this might be a transphobic movie or something like that.
Possibly, yeah.
But also, I mean, there's a lot of layers. That's weird. I want to say this is the first movie that doesn't hit me with a hard nostalgia factor, but I just love it. Like it's just a great. I don't know what it's. I'm not. I remember watching this in the theaters and I don't really quite remember it all too. I just remember all the comedy parts, but watching it again and then watching it over the years. I do own this movie, and watching it over the years and just seeing the scenes and then kind of just really getting the story. Like I said, it resonates to me a lot. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I would say 12, but for sure it's a 13. Like this movie I recommend it. I think if it's also just if you're just going through a breakup or if you need to see the opposite of something, like look at the lighter things of darkness, and this is where I would recommend this movie. Now, Jack, on the other hand, I'm gonna give it 2 scores. I'm gonna give it the score I think as a movie, but then I'm also gonna give it a score for make up for that god awful Rotten Tomato score, and I'll have a little bit of feedback for both. As a movie in general, for you just to watch a movie and you just to see this kid go through from transformation and to see the actual production and all the acting, It's no less than a 9. This is probably a 10 or an 11 movie. Sorry, that's my average score. No, that's it. It's like a 9 or a 10. But by just seeing what this movie, how powerful this movie is, and seeing how this movie can resonate now, I think this movie is very relevant now. I think this movie is very big on. It has a it's not big on mental health, but it can show you how a family with has just a little difference. Has a different character. It can show you that how it affects the people around you. It doesn't do it. It's a very light. This is a very light-hearted movie. This could have gone deep in any direction, and it doesn't. But I'll say with Jack, and it's a mature movie. Mrs. Doubtfire, you can watch it from like junior high up. Jack, you have to be a little bit older. I definitely gonna give this like an 11. Like, and only because it's powerful, it's strong in my opinion. It's got that deepness into it. Now it's not as funny as Mrs. Doubtfire. It's not gonna have that super comedic part to it, but there's humor in this movie, and it's Francis Ford Coppola. I just found out, like, come on, there's a reason why it's shot this way, and he you got to pick up. This is a film. I'll say that Mrs. Doubtfire is a movie, and Jack is a film. And what I mean by saying that's a film, that it's be like where you can get a comic book kind of can make you like laugh and you like the story, but a book like a novel really gets you. And I feel like if this movie had more to fill in, it'd be like a novel kind of piece. But it's a good movie. What do you think about Jack?
I'm gonna give it a 10.
Yeah.
This movie is, if anybody was looking for a good Robin Williams movie, if you've already seen Mrs. Doubtfire, go with Jack. I would say, if I was going to say, like, hey, you need to watch these two movies, I would say watch Mrs. Doubtfire first, then watch Jack. That would be the order that I would pick them. It's a great movie, man. It's a movie about a kid coming to public school and dealing with the pressures that happen there. I mean, it's not an easy transition, especially homeschooling, man. I feel like there's a lot of people that I've encountered over the years that they say they've been homeschooled and they're like, yeah, till like this age. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I kind of see it. Like there's going to be a few gaps. Because I feel like public school really provides a lot of social skills that it's I'm so lucky I went through the public school system. Really, I felt like I learned a lot, and I took the AP classes, all that other stuff. So I was in that higher tier of learning, but still in public school, which not all my friends were in AP or pre-AP classes. That's just part of it, and I think that this movie really kind of portrays that. Like he's different, but he's still able to fit in. He's a normal person.
You just said it right there. We're at the end where him and Mr. Woodruff were talking. We're Jack and Woodruff were talking, and he says, "I just want to be regular." And he says, "Well, you're not regular. You're spectacular." Like that. I get the words you're supposed to say, but in reality, you really aren't regular. And I can feel that because I do have that moment, those conversations with myself, where I've had it with someone where I'm like, man, I just want to be normal. I just want to be chill. I just don't know why I can't. I don't understand it. And doing stuff like running a podcast or doing movies or acting, doing graphic and stuff like that, like graphics. Like, so some, doing this for a while, so some people don't get it, and now that it's kind of more common, people understand the business of it. But it's just one of those things that just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So when I watch this movie and I see a 10-year-old boy hitting on his teacher, and because he looks like a man, he feels like he can get away with it, that's heartbreaking. You see the performance right there. That's the saddest part for me when Jack gets his heart broken, because it's that innocence where I don't know about you, but I've been rejected a lot. Like, in just for any excuse or any reason, I've been rejected like crazy. So I feel as in it's always like, all right, well, I'm gonna get rejected anyways. I got to that point in my life where I was like, when I didn't get rejected, you're like, oh, they'd be like, hey, you want to dance? Yes, okay, I'll see you later. What? He said, I don't know what to do after yes. Like, I've never gotten this far. I don't know what to do with this part of the ride. But it's got good pieces to it. Yeah, Jack, I say it's a deeper movie than you. It's not a surface movie. You gotta really look into it. It's a good movie. He does a great performance. I mean, they all do. Even like I said, Bill Cosby. Granted, whatever he is, but I mean, he's a good actor, I guess, and he
Yeah.
can do a good movie.
We
But
did Jeepers Creepers, so
yeah, I
we
mean,
can do Jack.
we can do Jack. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, but yes, exactly right, exactly right.
So I have one question for you. It's kind of it's about Jack. Uh, so whenever he's in high school, do you think he's hooking up with high school girls?
Hell yeah, he is.
All right,
You don't,
they got to get an idea of what the older man's going to be like.
dude. Of course, man. He probably was. So I did the math too. So when he graduated, what he was at 68, 7 years later. If he's
Yeah.
12, if he's what he's 10, and then he ages. So he's
So
40.
40, he'd be
So
40.
yeah, so it's like
So
60.
21 years, right? No,
I can't read. You can't.
I can't. You know,
So
together we can make a fully
we've
formed
like
person.
half a brain.
Yeah.
So let's put it this way. So it's 4-1.
28. I wasn't that far off.
That's why I said 68.
All right, man.
21. 20. You weren't that. You weren't that bad, dude.
It's late.
You were. I'm like, hey, we've been ragging on me, man. It don't matter. The only reason I wrote side by side because it was easy to write. And even at that, I misspelled half of it. So, no, man.
Side by Sid.
Side by side. Why'd you put it too easy here? It's like, oh, damn it, side by seed. I didn't mean that. It's got to stay.
Side.
So let's move on, and we've like I do what you said earlier. You're right. If there's some kind of perspective that can change your perspective or heighten your perspective, like I said, well, my big three are, it's the movie. Watch a movie. Does it entertain you? Does it have emotion? Does it give you an emotion, or does it make you think? And this movie has all three of them.
Mm-hmm.
This one entertains. This one tugs at my heart, and it makes me think, because some people even the pregnancy in this movie is odd. Like you see it and they're not even ready. They're not even prepared. They haven't even gone to. They haven't even signed up for the classes because So it shows you that when you life is gonna hit you and you got to get ready and you got to adjust. And they were able to, but yeah, you got
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way. Don't make me do.
I won't.
All right,
just stop.
This is don't watch. I'm gonna be one of those dumbasses that I call him. Why I'm a dumbass. So that's gonna get the. He does the great impressions, and then watch. There's gonna be the next generation is gonna think I'm like a really good impersonator. It's just like he can do a bunch. Let's not bring them hope. So what avenue are we going to next? I was gonna suggest something. I know you have some suggestions, but I was
yeah. So recently on Side by Side YouTube, we got another subscriber, and then we got another one tonight because I opened up another YouTube account that I hadn't had, and we're now at 3. 2 of them being me.
I didn't even notice that. We do.
Yeah, but the other one I know for a fact is a coworker of mine. So he suggested a couple movies. He said 2 of his favorite movies were Trainspotting and Casino, and
Goodfellas, no?
Oh yes, Goodfellas.
I'm the one that said
man,
Casino.
thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, you said thank you for correcting me. Goodfellas, and we discussed earlier because he's more of like he's a bookish guy, so. Scorsese was somebody that, because I would ask, I think I mentioned before, I'll ask people like, have you seen this movie? Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. We can talk about this. So it took a while to actually get to a movie that he had seen and he enjoyed. But yeah, Goodfellas and Trainspotting. I don't think I've ever seen Trainspotting before. I love Ewan McGregor though. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You can't beat that, right?
Tough.
Right?
No, you can't beat young.
That's right. You can't. Because it's Star Wars.
This is not the episode I'm talking about. No, I think with Trainspotting is a very tough pill to swallow, but I can totally relate to that movie.
Well, I mean, we are talking about Bill Cosby, so hey.
Yeah, so we swallow pills. But I was gonna say this is what I was gonna do. I was gonna say, all right, so I don't think Trainspotting and Goodfellas are a mixture. And I don't know how we don't know how we get where we get, but
no.
I was looking at Casino and Goodfellas, and if I was gonna do Trainspotting, I was gonna do Requiem for a Dream and Trainspotting,
because there is a Trainspotting too that I have not seen either. I do know there's a sequel.
There, yeah, I know that. I know. I think it just came out not too long ago. I just
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
like a couple years ago, I think.
caught some wind of it. So that I do want to. I'm just gonna throw this up in the air now. That I know season 2 we need to throw in some Sandler in there. There's just too much Sandler not to go around. I think we need to hit him up this time, Ron.
Oh, if we're gonna do Sandler, I mean, we got to do the two iconic ones. I mean,
Hey,
you got to do Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
we got it. We got to do this.
Yes, yes, it is. It made Happy Madison Productions,
I
bro.
think
Like,
so, dude.
I,
I think that's
those-
forced. I couldn't get it out of it. I couldn't get it out either. I was trying to throw in Punch Drunk Love, and I couldn't do it, man.
No. I mean, we can. It's not like Adam Sandler only has like 5 movies. We can go back and do other movies of his. But if we're gonna,
The first one,
the first one we're throwing out, I mean, yes, it's gonna be Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. Whenever I bought those movies on DVD, they came together, and I don't think there's any reason that we need to pull them apart.
do you want to go that route?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
love those 2 movies, and it's funny. I was actually talking about them earlier today. Here's a question for you, just off of like scenes and comedic chops. Who would you say is better, Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler?
as in who, like, which movies do I want to watch, or who's more entertaining, or who's funnier?
Who? Not even. I guess entertainment. Let's do entertainment.
Man.
That covers more of a spectrum than just funny.
It sucks for me on this question because that's a freaking good one.
Yep.
I have an answer right off the top of my head. Yeah, I couldn't battle these two.
I had an answer right off the top of my head too. So what do you got? Just
Man.
off the top.
Well, the nostalgia thing is stuck with both these guys.
Yeah.
So you gotta understand, my foundation is kind of more Jim Carrey is because I was an In Living Color guy. I did watch The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and what's this other one that he did? I can't even think right now. But you know, I went through the whole phase of Jim Carrey from
Liar, liar. I mean,
there you go, liar, liar. So
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
all that. But I'm sad to say that Adam Sandler was with me there the end of elementary, all of junior high, all of high school, all of college, and I was at college for a long time, so all of college. And I'll say, just he's still doing it, man. I mean, I just saw Hubie Halloween. We did a rewatch right now with that, and I was like, dude, like Kevin Smith and Reboot, Hubie Halloween kind of does that with Adam Sandler movies. There would be like if you made me rate them, this would easily be like a 10 and a 9.9, kind of thing. But man, I just it's something about Sandler. It's just he speaks my language. What did he do?
Yeah.
And that's the one thing you can do with everybody. And then you do the Adam Sandler. Hey, she's like a lot of people nowadays might not know that Sandler guy.
Lunch Ladyland is. I love that.
SNL, man. Dude,
Yeah,
that's how you see. I love In Living Color way more than I love SNL. But to be on SNL is like kind of I don't know, man. He's the thing I love the way Adam Sandler actually does his movies too. He does a production company. He has like there's more for me to gain. If I had to pick one, whose career would you want to be more like? I guess I'd pick Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
I think Jim Carrey is way too talented. Like that's like a phenomenal kind of anomaly kind of actor. But who would you pick? Sandler?
I said Jim Carrey.
You said Jim Carrey. Oh yeah, Ace Ventura with you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Adam Sandler, I grew up with that too. But yeah, Jim Carrey Man on the Moon. He has more.
Well,
more
if you go
range.
by all body of work, then I mean, it's a 50-50 slip for me, man.
Sorry, I did kind of throw. I did comedic chops. I did say that. I don't think I said acting chops. But yeah, Jim Carrey, just off the top of my head. But I love Adam Sandler too, and I think we'll get more into how much I love Adam Sandler next week when we do Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
Billy Madison, and Billy Madison came out first, and then Happy Gilmore did. So what? I'm gonna watch Billy Madison first, and then Happy Gilmore. But I will say to our subscriber, that I'm aware of now, our subscriber,
We'll come back to you.
we're gonna find a way to get to you, and we'll find a way. We'll find a way. And you're a book movie guy. I like books. I like movies.
Hey, we talked about a book movie today.
Hmm.
Didn't even know.
Didn't even know. That's how good we are. But you know, there's Casino and Goodfellas. There's a third one I'm forgetting. There's another one that's because Joe Pesci dies in two movies like that. Oh no, he dies in Goodfellas, isn't he? In Goodfellas,
Yeah, yeah. I
and
think
he's in
it's
Casino.
the
Those are
cornfield.
those are the two movies. Never mind, those are the two movies he
Maybe,
dies in.
maybe Casino is in the cornfield. I can't remember.
Yeah, him and his
The
brother.
third movie is probably The Irishman. I haven't seen that one.
I
though,
haven't
but
seen that one.
That's Scorsese and De Niro and Pesci.
Yeah, they did like I think one of my ex coworkers that was as a filmmaker. He was the one that said I think this is like their last hurrah, just to kind of get it. And one last thing about Jack, I just watching the scene where Fran Drescher walks into the bar. I think she played a great role in this movie too.
Yeah.
She looks good in it too. She's not, I'm not, you know, she's not the nanny, but hey.
Yeah. I just wanted to tell you that both these movies are on HBO Max, so you don't have to rent them.
Good. Let me make sure I rent these movies again. But you know why? I don't think I'm gonna rent these movies. I already own them, but I'm gonna rent them anyways. I'm gonna rent them anyways. Like when I owned. I forgot. I haven't even told you. I owned. I forgot which movie I had to rent because I owned, but I couldn't find it because it wasn't in the DVD case. But it was in I packed 2 in 1. I don't know why I did that. Found it like months later, and I was just like, oh man, I had to rent this one. Yeah, we'll do this. I think we're about done. We did Robin Williams today, so let me see if I can do the outro like I've been doing. I want to be consistent. So thank you for listening to us on Side by Side. We did the Robin Williams episode. We saw Mrs. Doubtfire and Jack, and we will be moving on to Adam Sandler, which we'll be watching Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. Dude, I just saw Wedding Singer not too long ago.
Oh, dude, that was somebody help me, please.
Or
somebody kill me, please.
This is the worst Wedding Singer ever. And then he punches what's his name?
John Lovitz?
The old guy punches Drew Barrymore's boyfriend, and he goes, "I'm sorry. Wait, what are you doing, man? I'm sorry. I used to be a lot stronger." Look at this. This is a CD player. It's gonna be new. Yeah. Sorry, I can keep ranting on. We'll let everybody go.
Julia Gulia.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Why is that funny? I don't know.
And they got Boy George on there too.
He sings the same song over time. All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging in there with us. I am CJ Robles.
And I'm Ben Garrett. We'll see you next time. We're going to have a lot of fun.
We've been having way too much fun. Hey, peace out.
Have a good night.